Welcome back to Crafters TV and welcome to Masterclass. How was your hour off? I hope you had a lovely and restful one and you're ready for more creativity, because let me tell you, we have got it today. We are whipping up a storm, aren't we, Debbie?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, came a bit quick there, caught me right off. Absolutely, but I've just realised I've not. Oh, I have changed my glasses. Thinking then, have I changed my glasses? Yes, I have. Yes, we have. I can't wait. This is 3 hours of a ton of fun, lots of inspiration. Ask any questions you want to ask about any of the products that we've got on the show. Don't forget you can shop and watch at the same time. But I'm going to kick-start things off. So I'm just going to show you a few little bits of what we've got coming up. She says with only one collection here, and realise what she's just done. Doesn't matter. Stay tuned, because we've got a ton of things, from iris folding to gorgeous screen panel dies to fold back cards to trifold cards to Ultimate Pro. I did that one, Johnny. Ultimate Pro as well. So we've got a lot of fun. Education as well for you. And we've even got a little snippet. I get a little bit of a break in between, so I'm not excited. But absolutely, it's going to be fabulous because we've got the guys from Be Creative You sat chatting, having a cup of coffee. Realised 10 minutes before the show, we're like, whoops, I need to get off and move on, guys. I'll see you in a bit. But we've got a lot of fun coming up your way for this Friday evening. So I'm going to start off and give you a little show, a little show and tell of the gorgeous. And now I'm going to tell you right now, Becky, this is one of those crafts. If you've just started into the world of craft, this one is going to be right up your street. But for those people who've been crafting a long time, I love the whole idea behind the iris folding, where you are drawn into the eye of the centre of there with that gorgeous folds. I can't wait to get started with this one. That's what I'm just going to say, Becky, because this is going to be a fabulous 3 hours. 2 hours me, 1 hour with the guys, and this is where we're going to kickstart things off. So absolutely, grab yourselves a cuppa and come and join us for this Friday afternoon, Friday morning, Friday evening, wherever you are.
Most certainly do. And don't forget, if you have got any questions for Debbie, do message them in. We've already got people in. Hello to Anne from a chilly Bristol. Charlotte is in saying hi everyone from an icy West Tennessee. Linny is in saying hi everyone. Perfect Friday evening. CTV and pizza delivery. Cannot wait. What pizza you having? You strike me as a ham and pineapple. I hope you don't mind me saying, but do let us know, Liddy. I'd love to know. If you are feeling in the need to sit back and craft and relax, then I've got a show for you, because as Debbie said, we've got Debbie for an hour, and then at 7 o'clock, we've got the gentlemen from Be Creative in with us. So we have got the wonderful Gordon and Justin in. We have got mega demos with them, including the likes of the Spray Emboss and so much more. So I know you've had loads of questions already for them. I'll ask those in that next show, and then we're back in with Debbie. Don't forget, it's Fiver Friday. £5, $5 deals on our website, so head on over there. You'll see the little click button, and we've got loads of deals in there, including the likes of sort of goodie bags and paper, cardstock and stuff like that, so head on over there. For now though, let's get ready to fold stuff. We have got for you this incredible collection of your iris folds. If you've not seen these before, they almost have a sense of an optical illusion. It almost draws you into the design. And the real cool thing about this collection is, not only have I got the dies, I've got for you the papers, and I've got for you the stencils as well. So basically, even if you've never done this before, really all you need is a die cutting machine and you're there. So let me run through the different themes that you can get in this. Up and away is in this collection. Really lovely one for kind of maybe holidays, destinations, of course, for anyone who does like watching Up, possibly one of the saddest animated films in the world. I've also got for you, that's not official, that's just my opinion, I've got for you poppies here as well. I will just remind you, if you want to make 3D poppies, the Be Creative gents showed us those dies earlier on. We'll be chatting more about those later, but again, you get all of these colours with it. I've also got for you in this the gift wrap. So this one's got your really snazzy, beautiful gift in it. Could be Christmas, could be birthday, depending on how you decorate it. And these are the colours you get with them. Don't forget though, you can easily mix and match. Let me bring for you now your congratulations. You've got something here that replicates sort of a bottle of bubbly, but don't forget, depending on what papers you use with it, you could make it look like a fizzy non-alcoholic drink. You could make it look like an apple cider. It's absolutely up to you. Then I'm bringing to you your butterfly. This is one of our favourites. I think it's got a really nice, almost sort of Chinese lantern feel to it because of the way the points are. As we are, of course, you know, Chinese New Year right now, this is a lovely one that you could have a lovely time with. Let's go more of your florals. This is your English rose that I've got for you here. I love the English rose colours, and I actually think it'd be great if you did want to mix and match them in with your butterfly. You totally could. I've got the dress now. This one is glamour. If you have been watching And Just Like That, or if you have, for example, got proms coming up, special occasions, weddings, this is totally the one for you. It's got Carrie Bradshaw written all over it. And last but by no means least, I've got your party time. It's balloons galore. And you, of course, have got the dies within this as well as those papers. So all of these you have to get your hands on on in this bundle. The fact of the matter is, you have got a mega saving of nearly £23 or over $40 on this today. Let alone if you're platinum, at which point it's even more bargainacious. So if you would like to see how you can use these, I've got the lady perfect to explain to you. It is the lovely Debbie. Debbie, can anyone get involved with these, even newbies?
Absolutely, newbies, experienced crafters alike, anybody from young to old. It covers. This is one of those crafts that I think is really easy, really easy to achieve, but really quite dramatic, and it looks absolutely fabulous once you've got that result. Now, iris folding is an age-old craft. Now, I say that in a dear way, a nice, affectionate way, Becky. Yeah. Not in the fact that it's old-fashioned or anything like that, because that's not what I mean at all. Meaning that back in the day, iris folding was quite big, but there was a lot of faff involved, because you had to have your templates, and you had to, honestly, everything had to be literally cut out with a knife. You followed patterns, you had to download things, you had to buy these, all your guides to be able to do it. We've taken all of that and popped it into this fantastic collection to make it really easy and really simple. And if you watched our gorgeous Ben quite recently, the TV Upster, he absolutely loved doing it, because we did the launch show and he fell in love with it then, and then he took it up and he took a set home with him and he created something really quite sensational. And Ben will happily admit he's not a crafter, he's just started to get into craft and do it a little bit more with his lovely daughter Daisy. So absolutely, anyone from any skill set, any age, could do this. And we've made it really, really simple. By the fact of the matter is that we've got the template with the markings already done for you. So you don't have to worry about getting your piece of paper drawing on your design or anything like that, because it's all done here for you. And this template is going to last you forever. It's not, honestly, it's super thick. It's not going to go anywhere, but it's your guide to choosing your colours. Now, we've got papers on the show and things like that, the extras that you can get to. But don't forget, iris folding can be any paper that you can use to do this, Becky. So even once you run out of those, you can actually take this into your crafting outside of that as well. And then you've got your set of dies, and the dies themselves, again, do all the hard work for you. So I am going to start with the up and away, because I love this one. I've always fancied myself going into one of those gorgeous balloons.
Have you ever been in one? Never.
Oh, I want to.
Right.
I will do.
Right.
I will. It's on my list.
Yeah.
It is on my to-do list to actually do. But I'm going to show you, and I'm going to speed it up a little bit, because iris folding is, I'm not... Again, it's one of those worth the doing, and it's a really, really simple, easy. And I'm going to show you just how simple and easy it is in a minute, but it's one of those that you take your time with, or go as quick as you want, depending on how fast your little fingers are. But absolutely, it's worth doing it, because the effect that you get at the end is absolutely amazing, because it draws you into the iris. That's what we call iris folding. It draws you in. You're drawn into that iris in the centre, and that's what the fold is all about. So I'm going to speed this bit up, because I've already done my die cutting, and actually I did a little bit of inking while I've been busy in the background getting ready to come on. I've created myself a little background template, and I actually just popped it over the top of the cardstock and just run that through your die cutting machine, electronic or manual. It will go through any, won't go through your smaller machines, but it will go through your larger machines from your Gemini Junior upwards. So that's created the design. Now, Becky, I'm going to pop on here to make it again easy, and I was trying to remember myself, because I've got my pattern there. I'm going to pop my stencil, and because that's the bit that I want to be able to show, I'm going to pop that down onto the top of the stencil, and that's exactly how it's been designed to work, where it fits perfectly over that die cut.
Great.
The only thing you have to do is make sure you take this bit down. So I'm going to just get that into position, and I'm going to hold it down with a bit of low tack tape. I've got a couple of pieces. Perfect. Now, low tack tape, again, is going to be one of those that you use for this particular design. And we do have low tack tape on the pole, so it's almost like we thought about it, Becky. Is that on the, on the show? What were I talking about? Getting myself all confused there. But you can see now your numbered template from 1, 2, all the way around will follow. And this is all you're doing. So I'm going to concentrate. I'm not going to concentrate on this one. I'm going to concentrate on the balloon itself.
Okay.
So you've got your 1 and your 2 there, and then you're probably thinking, where's the 3? Well, it's up here. And then your 4, and then the 5. And this is all you're doing is you're following that design. So you don't even have to work out how to do that folding. It's all there in that template. And again, it could not be any easier, Becky. So I'm going to start with the papers. Now, we've got the papers. I've already folded mine up. So these are, they come to you. They come in strips, and they're really, really easy. You simply tear them out of the booklet and then fold it in half. And literally, if you can't do it by fingers in your bone folder, take your scoring board and score down the centre of those. Now, they actually measure at 1-inch strips. So your 1-inch strips, you're just going to fold into that to create that 1/2 inch. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with number 1. Now, this is where you can use scissors or fingers. It's entirely up to you. But this is when you're going to need your low tack tape that I was talking about. So we're going to pop low tack tape, number 1, and then we're going to go in for number 2. And then again, I'm just going to take that over there, like so, and then just hold it down. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, I'm not actually popping it down onto this side just yet, Becky. I'm going to just, in fact, actually, I will, because I've just realised I've got a different colour coming up, so I need to go on.
Okay.
What I am going to tell you is, if you do manage, like I've just done there, because I'm a clumsy klotz, if you go over the template, it will show. So what you need to remember is to pop your tape away from this design to make it nice and neat.
Lovely.
So I've done my number 2, and then all I'm just going to do, Becky, is follow that all the way around. So I'm going to go up to the top with the number 3.
Okay.
Like I said, the low tack tape's a really good one to have for this, and I'm just going to secure that down, and then we're going to carry on. So I'm going to find my number 4. And
Well,
I'm going to carry on going round.
Yolanda's just said the butterfly is pretty, but I'm not sure that I have the patience to do all that paper folding. You've actually shown here how one strip doesn't just do one piece, does it? You've only used one strip and you've already covered up 4 areas.
No, exactly. And you know, to be fair, Becky, this honestly, we've tried to simplify it in the easiest of ways, but dragging it into the current year. Like I said, I've done iris folding before, but I'll tell you why I stopped, Becky. I just couldn't do with all that faff. I wish this had been out when I first started. I wouldn't have stopped because I really do love it, and it's brought a breath of fresh air back into iris folding. That's and it's lovely to see iris folding coming back and making its mark. Yeah. It really is. So I'm going to just carry on, and I'm just going to carry on following my numbers around, Becky. So and I'm just going to choose colours. I might have a little bit of a mix up there. So
lovely.
Let's go into my number 6.
On sort of Yolanda's point, how long-ish would it take you to fold enough of the pieces of paper to do, say, the balloon? Obviously, you're tearing them off, so you're not folding every single strip, are you? But
no, not at all. And if you just grab hold of your strips, it's a matter of minutes. And I said minutes, seconds, because you fold it, you score it, it's ready to go.
And that's done.
And it's already measured to size, it's perfect. So if that was the bit that you didn't like about iris folding, get those booklets. The booklets come in, the sheets come in anyway with your collection if you're going for the full collection. But you can, now let me just check actually, producer Johnny, can you still get them individually?
We can.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've married them up, so they've all got the like combination of which ones they go with which design. Yeah. There's nothing to stop you from using any of the others.
Completely.
So that's what I love about it. So yeah, it doesn't take long at all. So I'm just going to carry that on, Becky, like so, and just follow that around, and we'll put a few down before we show you the reveal, because I absolutely love this.
We've had a question in from Treasure Heart. Why is it important to not cut the strip in half lengthways, so the folding element?
Do you mean... Say that again, Becky.
Treasure Heart, why is it important not to cut the strip in half lengthways? So I presume...
So you mean in opening it up, cutting it, and then just using it that way?
As an individual, I presume that's what's meant.
So the fold gives you, and always remember the fold is the bit that you're going to pop towards. So like, let me bring out another pink one here. See if that's big enough. Let me just make sure. Yeah, that's big enough. The fold itself goes up to that guide. Do you know the guide where it is there? So it goes up to there. The reason being for having the fold there and not a single flat sheet is the effect, because you want to draw in, and it's almost like a 3D, like a tunnel effect. If you use flat paper, you won't get the same effect. It'll look pretty, don't get me wrong, it'll look pretty, but you won't have the same effect of the fold technique, which is what we've done with these, and hence why you fold them over, because you want that effect on each one of them.
Because
so again, I'm just going to carry that on.
If you're using individual, it's going to be half the thickness in the end, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely,
right.
Absolutely. So I'm just going to carry this on, Becky. I'm going to just realise I didn't do my number 5, but it's good job it weren't following on, because I got away with that one. But yeah, follow the numbers around. And you won't go wrong at all.
Loads of you getting in touch. Hello, everyone from Indiana, says Barbara. Hi, Barbara. Deborah's in saying good morning from Texas. I'm here working, but listening and glancing over once in a while. Hello to you. Charlotte's in saying, it's been a while since I've watched live. Debbie, you are so skinny.
Well, can I share a secret?
Is this about your biscuit consumption?
Well, Gordon and Justin have fetched us biscuits, chocolates, and said help yourself. And while I was getting ready to I kind of fell off the wagon. And then the Maltesers were there, and I was like, oh my God, I've never had such a Malteser truffle.
Yeah, so good. Game changing.
And the worst thing is, and I'm going to blame those 2 boys. The worst thing is, it's weighing day tomorrow. Oh, I mean, what on earth is up with me? I've been doing so well. and then I go and fall off the wagon.
Go into your weigh-in and just blame it on them.
I'm going to blame it on them. That's what I'm going to tell. That's what I'm going to tell them. I'm going to say it was all those 2 boys' fault. It was their fault. When I probably will have got a game this week, but grand scheme of things, I'll get back on it.
Oh, I'm
and it's a good job Justin and Gordon aren't here every day of the week bringing in all those goodies, because let me tell you, I'd be the size of a house.
Bless you, that's lovely. Hiya to Linny. Linny says, Becky, that sounds horrible. Fruit on pizza, ham and pineapple. Ooh, delicious. Are you crazy? Lol, it's a basic margarita for me. With a I like this, Linny. With a well-fired bottom. Yum. Linny's words, not mine. Linny and her well-fired bottom pizza. Thank you for that, Linny. Panda Crafts is also having a pizza takeaway tonight. Oh, very Italian, everyone. Bueno. That's Italian, isn't it?
Oh, do you know, I'm not. Do you know, can I own up? I don't like pizza.
What?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm not a pizza. I know that.
What is it that you don't like?
No, it doesn't make me feel very well when I eat it. Right. So I don't have it because it's. And when the kids were younger and we used to choose where you want to go for your birthday, if they ever said pizza, I was like, oh God, no, because it's just not for me. I'm not a fan. No. And anybody who eats cold pizza, well, I mean, it's the worst thing in the. I mean, what on earth is wrong with people eating cold pizza?
The day after, the flavours develop. It's a taste sensation.
Becky, you do not.
Of course I do.
Oh, no. I can hear producer Johnny. Charlotte, so let's ask our Charlotte. Cold pizza?
Yeah, loves it.
No,
you're the odd one out here, Debbie.
Oh, no, not at all, Becky. Not for me. Not for me, this one. I'll stand away from that one. You can have your cold pizzas and your warm pizzas. And if I was having a pizza, I certainly won't be putting fruit on it. Goodness me, what on earth is wrong with people?
Ooh, ham and pineapple. I've had banana on a pizza as well.
Oh,
and
Becky,
grapes
it's
on
getting
a
worse.
Oh,
grapes?
Delicious. Grapes, yeah. Cheese and grapes. It's like a cheese ball, but hot. It's lovely.
Did you hear producer Johnny?
No, I missed that. What did he say?
He said rank.
Oh, did he? Oh, I missed it.
Oh, no. Oh, look, we've started a debate off now, pizza debate. We always comes back to food. Yes, you're right, producer Johnny. Always comes back to food. And I'm going to blame Gordon and Justin again, because that's where it started.
Yeah, do it. Good idea.
Now then, I'm just literally following the numbers around, trying to concentrate, because I know what I'm like when I start talking. I kind of go off kilter, so to speak. So I'm going to keep on following those around. And that's all you keep doing. Make sure that fold goes up to the line where the template is, and then all you're going to do is, if you get your low tack tape, tear a bit off, And that's why, and our low tack tape comes in, you get in the dispensers, but you're also getting 3 of these in one pack, which I think is, I mean, brilliant anyway. One for your paper crafting, maybe one for your iris folding. I don't use glue or anything like that. It's always been tape that I've used, because I've heard people say they don't like the messiness at the back, but to be fair, it's messy at the back for a reason, because when you turn it over, you don't see any of this at all. So don't worry about that. All you need to do is decide, she says, the colourways of your paper. Now, I've chosen some quite pastel-y colours there, Becky. But again, it's entirely up to you. You think of some of the amazing papers that we have in our collections and our 8x8 pads and all those kind of things. You know, the world's your oyster with this. It really is. But it will literally just create the most gorgeous effect. Now, I'm just going to make sure that all of those are situated nice and neatly. I'm going to carry on. I think I might switch that up to a little bit of, I think I'll go a little bit spotty on this one.
On softer side, earlier on, when we were making them teddy bears, we were talking about making the outfits for them out of kind of upcycled things. So, you know, kind of maybe old kids' clothes have grown out of, or curtains that you change. You could do a similar sort of thing with this craft using old magazines and sheet music and anything like that, couldn't you?
Oh, I like that idea. Some sheet music. That sounds quite cool. Yeah, absolutely. Any kind of paper. Just remember the fold part. You can't go far wrong. And again, it's just so lovely. I mean, to be fair, Becky, I don't think it's looking that messy anyway, really, on this side. I know people, you know, I mean, people say it looks messy, but I think it looks quite nice when it's done. But it's the effect on the other side, I think, looks amazing, which is why it's worth all of this. And it's worth the patience as well. I've heard people say before it's a long-winded craft and things like that. Oh, it's not when you get the gorgeous results. It's absolutely stunning and so worth it. And when you give it to somebody, they're always like, how did you do that?
Yeah.
That's the kind of effect I want when I'm giving someone a card. I want them to look at it and think, how? Yeah, how is that possible? And when you say you've made it, it's even better, because that's just the icing on the cake.
Definitely.
The cherry on the top.
Yeah.
But like I said, I'm just going to carry on folding that around. I'll do a couple more and then we'll do a reveal, because I have got another one here ready to go onto a card that I've done. But I do love this.
Great stuff.
I really love this.
Karen is saying, good afternoon from Kentucky. Cold pizza for breakfast. Yummy. Shadia is saying, Debbie, you and me both. I ate pizza with a passion, which is unusual because a very well-known pizza place has one called Pepperoni Passion. Hello to Kirsten. Cold pizza for breakfast every time. Jane is saying, my hubby prefers cold pizza. Vile. Alison is saying, oh yeah, Alison, your team ham and pineapple. Ham and pineapple for me, but never cold. Panda Crafts. I've made a chocolate-topped pizza. Delish. Nutella, tick. Ooh. Chopped nuts, tick.
Ooh. Oh, actually,
strawberry,
I think
bananas.
I might like pizza now. I think I might like pizza. Yeah, gosh, that's
Justin's on board.
That's getting a nod of approval over there. Even Justin then. Oh yes.
Justin perked up like a little sort of meerkat then, like, oh yeah. Oh, sorry, Nutella, did you say? Yeah. Strawberries, marshmallow, Mars bar, chocolate buttons. Oh. Delish. Oh, I bet you're hyper for days after that, aren't you?
You know, you could put Nutella on anything and that's me done. Yeah. Absolutely. All right.
Or me, I'll just eat it.
That straight out, straight out.
Just with a spoon.
Yeah, absolutely. Although I'm not eating as much of it these days for obvious reasons. trying to stay on that health kick. Quite difficult sometimes, but I'm still going. I'm determined not to give up this time, Becky. I've been one of those in the past where I've given up after maybe a couple of stone, but I'm determined to carry on and see it through. So I'm over the 3 stone mark now, so that's what and I'm just about getting rid of the Christmas
incredible, that is.
extra bits that you tend to put on over Christmas and the New Year and then the month of January and all those things.
Yeah.
Just carry on.
Summer holidays. Yeah, no, I get it.
So I look at me, I said, we're going to stop, didn't I? This is the thing with iris folding. You say you're going to stop and then, just carry on and carry on. In fact, I'll tell you what I will, because I've seen the time and I have got so much that I want to get done over the next, over the show. But I'll just show you up to now how it's looking. So I'm just going to lift off the low tack tape. When you are using low tack tape, little top tip, bring it towards you. And because I've got a bit of a pattern card here that I've used with one of our templates, I don't know if you've noticed, I got this out of the magazine and I used it for there. But let me just show you now, Becky, when you lift it off, look at that gorgeous effect. How it literally is drawing you into the eye. And then you just continue that, Becky, with the rest of your papers. And this is the effect that it gives you. So, and again, this template's going to last you forever. So I don't have to do anything. It's there ready to pop it backside to one side. And then literally all that does is draw you in. So you're starting and you're going all the way around into that centre. And that's what the iris fold is all about. So I've got my card base, Becky. I'm going to bring in, and I'm going to go with a little stepper card for this one. Oh, I forgot I've already stuck it down. That's what we're doing outside. You dafty. What do you like? But I'm just going to pop on a little thank you, just onto my front stepper part like so. And then I'm ready now to pop on, and again, you'll see tack tape all the way around. It literally is, I mean, you can see I've used some very, very low tack tape. It was an old tape that I found. But I'm just going to pop that onto there like so. And I'm just going to literally, now I'm going to use on the back of this one, I think I'm going to pop on some red liner tape. You could use your glues, but I'd be I think I'd go down the red line tape or finger lift tape. That'd be a good one to pop on the back there as well. You find all of these glues, all of these adhesives on our website, so you can go and head over and actually choose the glue of your choice for this. I'm not going to use a wet glue only because there is, and this is another thing I get asked a lot of. I'm just trying to tilt it forward. They always think that it's really quite chunky when you've done it, but if you look, if I tilt it there, that's quite thin.
Yeah, right.
And that's because of the paper that you're using. Now, I've heard people say, can you use cardstock to do iris folding? You can, but you will get a thicker result. So it will be a bit more chunkier on the back. So I would just say, choose your glues a little bit wisely. I wouldn't use a wet glue, personally, myself, just because of all the paper that's on the back. I would use either a finger lift tape or a red liner tape that goes onto the back. And then I'm just going to position my gorgeous balloon. One day, Becky, one day I'll be up in one.
Where would you like to go over?
Bristol. My daughter lives down there and I would love to go over Bristol because they do the Carnival of Balloons every year.
Whoa!
Oh, honestly, it's amazing. Oh, balloons, they just fill Bristol skyline. Oh, it's amazing, absolutely amazing.
Wow.
I tend to go down in August when it's on because my daughter lives in a high-rise apartment that's quite close to where it's near Clifton Bridge. You can see Clifton Bridge from where she lives. And you can see all the balloons in the sky and they literally cover the sky.
Wow.
Oh, it's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. So, and one day, Becky, one day.
Yes, you will.
I will be there. I will. Now, I'm just going to use some of the accessories that are on there because on the back of the die, let me just bring this back in, you've got bunting, you've got lovely sunshine, you've got some clouds. I've not gone for the sunshine just because of the design of my card, but I'm going to pop on my bunting. So let's just... oh, where's that precision glue gone? Let me grab hold of this, Becky. I'm going to use my tacky glue that's in the fine tip applicator, which I do believe are back on the website now, the fine tip applicators. And this is tacky glue that I've popped in there, which is perfect for all your little die cuts, your intricate die cuts, which is why I'm debating.
You're thinking?
I was thinking then, so stop talking. That's because the creative side of my brain was working there thinking, where shall I put that? Where shall I put it? But I'm just going to pop it onto like so. I've got another one here. And again, this is just the finishing touches. And they're the accessories that you get in each one of the designs, actually. You get accessories in all of them. And I'm just going to pop that onto there.
That's lovely.
And then I'm just going to add on a few clouds just to give it a little... lift as though it's in the sky. Let's put one up there, like so.
Panda's saying, this looks gorgeous, Debbie. I love that hot air balloon.
It's gorgeous, isn't it? Yeah. Absolutely. Do you know, to be fair, I love all of the designs that we've got with these. The dress is one of my favourites.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
The rose is beautiful. Oh, the bottle is amazing. The butterfly, gosh, that butterfly is divine. But I have got a little bit of a soft spot for this one, Becky, I'm not going to lie. I do love this one.
Yeah.
And it, Oh, you silly devil, that's your one that you were going to ink in. What are you like? Oh, dearie me, Becky. It's because I cut loads of things. I have loads cut out ready for if I want to add some extra ones on there. I'm just going to pop on that side. And there you go, Becky.
Lovely.
We've got our lovely iris folding card. It's just drawing you in. It just draws you into that centre. Absolutely beautiful. And very, very, very easy to do because of the kits, because of the collection, because of the die, because of the templates, because of the papers. You don't have to think about anything. We've done it all for you. All you have to do is decide on the colours that you're going to choose for, the design of the card that you're going to go with, and you've got a fabulous set of iris folding dies there.
Debbie, thank you so much for that. If you do want to treat yourself to the whole collection, then go for it right now. It includes all of those designs and the papers. But maybe you want to just treat yourself to smaller amounts. Well, then I will bring you the individual dies and the papers right now. So let me first bring to you... Oh, ooh, magic. Let me first bring to you the rose design. So this is the rose, comes with all of those lovely dies, and you're getting a set of the papers, which is 6 inches long by 1 inch in thickness. Then I've got your glamour, which is the beautiful dress design with the different accessories. Also, I've got your party time. The party time is the one with the lovely balloons, and as your accessories, you get streamers, you get the word let's party and hearts and more. Then I've got the one that we've just used, the up and away, which has as the accessories the bunting, some clouds and a sunny sunshine. Then I've got your poppies, the poppy design themselves. So you've got the stamen for the poppies in here as one of the accessories, which is really lovely. And don't forget, you can change the colours of them to make them sort of a nod towards different flowers. I've also got your gift wrap, so perfect for any kind of event where you might give a present. You've got like a lovely ornate tag on this, and you've also got the die for happy birthday on that one. And then we've got your congratulations, which is that lovely bottle of, well, whatever you want it to be really. And we have got that big paper pack, including a glass with that and a cork. That one says cheers. And then finally, it's your butterfly. The butterfly comes with different accessories, such as the body of the butterfly and the not dealy boppers, they're what you wear on a hen do, aren't they? What are they called? Antennae, that's the word. They come with antennae and they come with flowers and a low as well. So you can treat yourself individually or you can get that full pack. It's up to you. So, as well as all of that, we are bringing to you the likes of your Trifold, Aperture, dies and stamp collection too. And I think for me, this is one of those collections that can kind of just make you smile, really. So if you do want to seize the moment on these ones, we are going to be bringing to you 68 elements in total. And you do get the card. Now, what have I done with the card, Rebecca Redican? Where's it gone? I can't see it at the minute. But you get 25 sheets of ultra smooth cardstock. You were hiding. So these ones are 6 by 12 inch, which is perfect size for the trifolds. So you don't have to add on any extra pieces of paper or anything like that. In the trifolds, you are getting, if you've not seen them before, you get almost like a slightly optical illusion card. So it's not just one flat card. You're going to get an element that opens, and then you get the element that opens up again. So this is what builds up the scene. So you're going to get the dies of different sides, the stamps that you can make them up, and see these made Dalmatian, but you can make them any breed of dog you want because the stamp isn't actually spotty. And then you get all of these lovely things and sayings that will fit into the speech bubble at the back. For example, lucky to have you, or I've missed you so much. So, or yappy birthday. That's funny because it's dogs. But we've got for you this big collection. So this one here is your best buddy. I've also got for you peeking in to say hello. So this one is for all of you cat lovers. But of course, anyone who's into plants as well. What do we say this was? A cheese plant? It was, wasn't it? Yeah, cheese plant.
A yucca plant.
Oh, it's got a touch of the yucca about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but maybe it's just because I'm thinking of cheese with pizza. I've also got for you today, You've Been on My Mind. Wonderful butterflies in this one, really lovely. And don't forget, you can use this with maybe some of the iris fold butterflies we did earlier on with like a big layered design. Let's go owl hunting. What does that even mean? Don't know. Owl spotting, is that a thing? You have my heart, and I absolutely adore this. You think about the wise owl. This could be a really nice one for maybe a teacher card or something like that. You've got the lovely characters here, including one who's had a little bit of a snooze. And then I've got for you You Mean So Much. This is your elephants or your heffalumps. And again, just look at him peeping through. And when you put these two together, they look like they're about to hold hands. Not that elephants have hands, you know what I mean. Are they paws? Nah. What are they called?
Feet?
Feet. Yeah, sure, feet. Oh, let's hold feet. And then I've got for you your bunny rabbits. This is your happy bunny. And you've got wonderful designs in here and the stamps that include things like happiest of birthdays to you and the presents too. All of these in that collection. Discount deal today of nearly £20 or over $23 if you want to get them all in there together. You absolutely can. Shall we get a little bit of inspo off Debbie? Let's do it.
Absolutely. Now, I love these. I love the idea behind them. They're super cute. And I love the idea of the trifold. And I do believe in these, you get that gorgeous cardstock that's been perfectly designed to work with these as well. But that 6x12 is perfect for the trifold design, but you can also take them into other ways as well, and other card making. And if you did see one of the shows that I did a while back with these, actually you can do it with anything. You can make boxes and all sorts of different things with it. But the idea behind it is it's like a little window, an aperture window that goes in. So I'm going to show you the first one, which I just think is so cute. This one, I love the dogs. I absolutely think this is gorgeous. But where you start it off, where you've got it on the first, and they look like they're talking to each other, Becky.
Yeah.
Woof you. I can just see that every time.
So
but then again, look, it creates that window effect really quite easily, and then you can go in. So it really does create something really beautiful. And this will go in any kind. So this is like a concertina trifold with this one. So again, you get that element of they look like they're talking to each other, but it's literally on the inside.
Lovely.
And it doesn't matter which way around you do it. And again, another concertina with a fancy edge. This one I think I did on the last time that I brought these to you,
Yes,
which
I
again is
remember.
just fabulous. And that lovely idea of that window. And again, like I said, Becky, you can bring it into just your card making. This one's just like a little frame, how that one's being used. So rather than a trifold, it's just being used, but it creates that lovely effect. And that's what you'll get each and every single time. You also get in here, so if you wanted to do it in the traditional way with the 6x12 cardstock that comes with the deal, you've got an instruction sheet in here telling you where you need to put your score line in, and step-by-step instruction on how you can put this together to create that lovely trifold feature. The one I'm going to make today, Becky, is this one. This is the one that I'm going to go with. And I'm going to do it on the still a trifold kind of fold, but where it opens up, so it's on the inside,
Right.
and then like so. And
Lovely.
I've chosen one of my favourite cardstocks that we've done quite recently, which is the fabulous, utterly fabulous retro rainbow, which I do believe we might still have got some in stock. So if you do like that paper pad, then absolutely go and have a little look at it.
Okay.
Now with the 12x6, all I've done with this one is I've scored it in at 4 inches and 8 inches because it's 12 inch across. But I'm just folding it in a different way. Rather than it fold it back on itself on the inside like so, I'm actually having it like this. So it's the same style of card. So it's 6 inches by 12 inches, scored at 4 inches, scored at 8 inches. And that's how you would do that with your cardstock that's been perfectly designed with this set. So first things first, we're going to go with the dies. Now I'm going to cut it through my cardstock as well. So I'm thinking about my first page, where I'm going to have that first aperture. So I'm going to pop that like so. Now I'm going to hold it down with a little bit of dotty tape pen. And the only reason I'm doing that is because I don't want it to move, but I know I'm asking a lot of my Gemini to cut through a 300 GSM and a 300 GSM with a paper die. But I'll show you why I'm going to do it this way. So I'm just going to pop on straight at the very top, just in the top corner, and it's just to stop it from moving, Becky. And I'm just going to pop it off. So I'm not going to use any other glue other than the the dotted tape pen. And then what I'm going to do now is position my first
Die.
Die. Thank you, Becky, helping me
Welcome.
out there. And my owl, and again, these have been designed to work with these stamps absolutely perfectly. I know that that's the front one, and that's how I'm going to hold it, because he's holding a little love art on the front.
No.
So I'm going to pop that just onto the front part of that card. And again, I'm just going to use some low tack tape. So I'll just grab a couple of pieces of low tack tape just to hold it down again. And position that. So it's not going to move or anything like that, but it's going to cut through those two pieces. So I'm going to bring in my plates and my platform. I'm going to spread my card out. Now, these will go through your smaller machines as well. MIDI, Junior. I'm trying to think of all the rest of the other machines, but all the other machines that are out on the market, they will go through any of these machines. So again, I'm just going to hold that, pop it on, and run it through my machine.
Okay, pokes.
There we go.
Lots of people talking about hot air balloons. Jane says the Bristol Balloon Fiesta. Yeah!
Yay! That's the right word for it. That's the name of it.
And Annie says they go from Ashton Gate, the balloons.
Yes, yeah,
That's
yeah.
really cool.
So it literally comes over. So from where my daughter lives, she lives, and it literally comes from this side and then comes across and then goes forward. Oh,
wow.
Becky,
Magical.
out of this world. It really is. It's just it's just a magical time. And I do dream of being up in one. My daughter's been in one, but she put me off.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because of the size of the basket, and I'm thinking there's not a prayer I'm going to get up on that basket, because they're quite high. I thought they were really small. They're not. They're quite high, the baskets.
Oh, okay. Right.
Yes.
Didn't know that.
Did you not know that, Becky?
No.
Have you not been in one?
No.
One day, Becky, me and you will go up.
Yeah, up in the balloon.
we'll go up. Now then, I'm just going to put... Oh, look, Debbie, I tell you all to pull it towards you and put it away, and I'm thinking, oh, no, it's going to rip my paper. Oh, nearly. Yeah, when you're doing it, pull it towards you. So I'm just going to spin that round and pull that towards me, literally, like so it doesn't ruin the cardstock. Now,
tip.
I did say that this is like 300 GSM, a 300 GSM with a normal paper die. Now, I know it'll have cut through the top bit fine. Not quite, so I knew that it wouldn't. That's why I've popped it down just with a bit of the tape. But can you see it's giving me the place where to pop? Oh, actually. Oh.
Oh, it has cut.
Well, isn't that
Lovely.
clever? It's done it through both. I'm amazed, absolutely. Imagine. I don't know why I'm amazed. The Gemini amazes me every single day with what it does. Now, to get the second layer, so I'm going to fold that back on itself. I could stick that down, couldn't I? Yeah, in fact, let me put that back on. So I'm going to stick that back down. There we go. I'll place it back in, but this time it's stuck down solidly. The reason I'm using my tape pen and not wet glue is because it's going to go back through the machine in a minute. Now, I could put it back through. However, I'd have to wait for the glue to dry. And only because the glue will lodge out at the sides, and we don't want any of that. So you would have to make sure that it's dried off.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to fold that back on itself, because the next bit that I need is not the first part of the die, it's the second part of the die. So it's the other part.
Yes.
And again, the die has been perfectly aligned to work with the stamp over the top like so. So when I'm popping this in, Becky, this is when you line it up to create that effect. So I'm just going to slip it underneath, and there is how you position it. So
Lovely.
what I'm going to do is just open that up. Oh, wait a minute, Becky. Can we just rewind that bit? We'll scrub that bit out. Yeah, we'll just scrub that bit out, because I'm going to go back in with a paper. I'm going to hold that down again, because I want to cut through this layer as well. So again, good. Oh, nearly, Becky, nearly. So let's put that down again. I'm just using the dotted tape pen in one corner just to hold it into place. Then I'm going to position it. There we go. That's so I can get the perfect alignment. So it's going to go on the inside. You're going to position it into the window place that you want it. So like so. Perfect. I'm going to lift that up, the first part of the window, pull that back, and then we're going to pop on there, low tack tape, where are you?
Fabulous.
There we go. And that is how you can create, and especially when you want to layer up with paper, because if you were to try and do this, popping it on the white card first, then it's quite difficult to line it up. So it's better to do it before you actually stick it all down, and that way, when I open this up now, I can pop that back onto my plate. So let's bring the Gemini plates back in for a second. I can pop that back on, and then I can run that through like so. And then that means now all my cardstock It's all lined up perfectly. And then the next bit that we're going to do is we're going to put on the gorgeous stamped details as well. Excuse me, Becky. It's nearly gone.
Oh,
It's nearly
bless
gone,
you,
the
give it a
laryngitis. Nearly there. We've nearly got shut of it.
That's good.
Whew. Right, so again, I'm just going to lift that off. And then again, and Debbie's going to remember her own words of wisdom. Pull it towards you.
Lovely.
Like so. And then where's my other piece? I can see it. I see it somewhere. There it is. So let's bring that off there. And again, I'm just going to turn that round and bring that down too. And that way now, oh, look at that, perfect. It's done it through both. And then what I'm just going to do is, excuse me again, I do apologise. In fact, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm just going to pop on some tape without even lifting it and just stick that back down. And now I've got that perfect window alignment, like so. And then all I'm going to do, Becky, is I'm going to stick on my last piece. I've gone for the rainbow piece with this side. Yeah. Let's pop that on.
Lovely.
And then the next part and the next stage is the decoration using those stamps. Lovely. And again, everything's there for you, but that creates now that lovely aperture, and it creates the windows of the aperture absolutely perfect. Now at the minute it looks a little bit lost, but that's only because I haven't got those features. So the stamps, you're going to stamp your stamps out, and then you're going to choose to colour them in. So I've gone with,
oh, bless.
Oh, they're so cute. Honestly, Becky, these are like the superest, cutest little ones in the world. I absolutely love them. And they just fit onto the top. Right. And the reason I've chosen it to go over, I could snip that off, but I quite like the idea of the branch just sticking out. It's entirely up to you whether or not you chop that off or not. I'm going to bring back in my fine tip applicator with my tacky glue. I'm going to pop that on.
Oh. Actually, as you've got glue out, Mary Ann has asked, will tape pen hold the iris folded card to the front of the folded card?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah,
thank you.
Will do, yeah, absolutely.
That
And then that's on my first part, Becky. So remember, I've got it on the inside rather than on the inside. Yeah. So I'm going to open that one up, and then I'm going to stick his little pal just on the other side. Oh. This one looks like he's snoozing, this one. Yeah. But these really are really cute. I want you to remember, though, as well, I know you've got the trifold, you know, idea behind there with the dies to create that lovely aperture, but I want you to remember these stamps. I think these stamps will work outside of this collection as well. Yeah. So I think they're a really nice set of stamps that I think you'll be able to use many times. Oh, it's so cute. It's so cute. I love it. And then I'm just going to bring in the lovely words that come on here. I'm all yours. All yours. Love it. You have my heart. And you're too kind. So cute. So cute. I'm going to have that one on the inside like so. I've just matched it up with some matching cardstock that goes with the retro rainbow. So again, I'm just going to go like that. And then I'm going to go on inside. I'm going to have you have my heart on the front part of it. So I'm going to pop that on there. That's just going to go down in that bottom corner. I'm going to have on the inside as well, so they've all got a little say in there, because I just think it's so cute. Yeah. And I do love this design. I think it's one of the cutest ones we've done in a while. But just beautiful. And then lastly, I'm just going to finish that off with little bow just in the top corner. In fact, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go in that corner, cover up a little bit of glue mess that I made. But now, look how gorgeous that is. And it really is super cute, and it gives you that aperture feel where you're going in, you're drawn in, and that's what the lovely thing about this trifold is. I've just used it in a slightly different way, like so. But how gorgeous is that? And it all works beautifully together, and it's very easy to do. I've just shown you how to do that die cutting. I've shown you how to do the little trick of the saving you having to try and line the cardstock up, and that literally is by the simple use of the dotty tape pen just holding it down while you run it through your machine. And we've just shown the power of the Gemini at the same time, because it got through 2 pieces of cardstock with a normal paper die. I mean, come on, Becky, what more do you want?
Brilliant.
Absolutely amazing.
It really is. I have had 4 people people now ask this question, so I will put it to you because I don't want you to think I'm ignoring you. Annie Lee is saying on the first card, Debbie, I like the font you use. What's that from? Mrs. Simmons said, I love the font on the thank you. Can you tell me where it's from? Charlotte is saying, I'd love to know where the thank you came from also.
I can gladly help you out with that one. It's with the mix and match stamps that we had. Do you remember the mix and match of the thank you? And it had thank you all on a sheet. I think they're still available. Go and check that out. We might ask producer Johnny to have a little peek. They were called the mix and match sentiments stamps. And it had different fonts on there, and it meant you could interchange the thank and the you with 2 different fonts.
That's
but
cool.
that particular font, where's it gone? That particular one was a solid one, thank you, that was on that set, and that was when we did the mix and match. And there was thank you, there was the happy birthday, there was the friends, there was the with love, and they were the mix and match sentiments. Maybe type that into our.
Oh. Apparently they are in stock.
Yeah, perfect. So that's where that's from if you're asking that question.
Oh, thank you so much, and thank you for showing us that as well. If you do want to get your hands on the big trifolds, then you've got the opportunity to do so with that big collection. So it's well worth treating yourself to it now when you've got that wonderful discount. We have got so much more to come. And don't forget when you're right, Debbie?
Yeah, I just need to tell you because I've had producer Johnny. Sorry, Becky, sorry.
No.
The mix and match sentiments have got 70% off right now, the collection. So if you love that font, go and have a little look at it. And you're not just getting 1 or 2, you're getting all of them. 70% off. They kept that one quiet, Becky.
Hey, that's brilliant!
We should have had that on the show. We should have insisted. Didn't know they were 70% off. That wasn't my intention when I used them. Go and have a look at the mix and match sentiments, 70% off. If you love stamps, sentiments, they're the ones to go for.
That's the one. Ah, thank you so much. If you have just tuned in, hey up, where have you been? Have you been eating? Have you? Go on. It's a Friday night. Have you had a little look? Could be tea. Do feel free to let us know what you've been up to with your day thus far. We have had a jam-packed day. The wonderful Debbie's been crafting away. In less than 8 minutes' time, I'm going to be joined by Gordon and Justin from Be Creative. We have got Spray and Emboss. We've got the wonderful Pro Stampers friend with them. We have got demos galore. It's going to be a great time. And then we're back in with Debbie. And we have also got for you, as we've got some fabulous treats on the show, the Ultimate Pro. Now, the Ultimate Pro and the 16th anniversary USB collection. Now, if you haven't seen this tool before, it is going to be great for the likes of your Iris cards if you do need help folding. But also it can help you create boxes. It can help you create sort of envelopes. It can help you create sort of decorative designs on elements. This is a really fabulous all-in-one system. It even comes with a way of cutting paper. And with it too, you are going to get this USB. So this is in a lovely little box, and it has a USB that you can just plug into any old standard computer, and you are going to get 33 exclusive step-by-step video tutorials on that. So you don't even need to be, on Wi-Fi to get it. It's all there stored in it. So we have got a save more than you spend deal today, because you are saving nearly £45, but you're only spending $39.99. And if you do want to treat yourself in the USA, you're saving nearly $50 and spending $69.95. Debbie, there's so much you can do with this bit of kit, isn't there?
The Ultimate Pro for me is a must-have. I definitely call it a crafter's companion because every crafter should have an Ultimate Pro because of the amount of things that board offers you as a crafter.
Yeah.
From your card making to your envelopes to your envelope boxes to your paper cutter to your I'm trying to think of all the things, all the different kinds of shapes of cards, from your straightforward A4 or folds to your concertina cards to your trifolds to your, carry on, there's so many, honestly. It's a fabulous one. It's a bow maker. There's a ton of things in there that it teaches you regardless of the extra bits. And the extra bit being the USB. Now, the USB for me was one of the most amazing things. Every birthday we try and bring something out with the Ultimate Pro, because the Ultimate Pro, although it didn't start where Sarah started, it was very, very early on in the start of the company when the Ultimate Pro was designed by Sarah and her lovely dad to create this amazing companion, which every crafter should have, and it really, truly is. So every year we try and bring out something different. We've had all sorts of different tutorials. This year's one was the USB special, and I call it the special edition because, oh my God, the things that are on there are just amazing. And Sarah, you've got her in your front room, and you can literally watch, pause, craft along using the Ultimate Pro with all these fabulous projects from different card bases, and I'm going to show you because I've actually printed them all out. And that's the lovely thing about this as well. You've got a PDF file on there so that if you don't want to listen to Sarah, some people might not. Depends on what they want to do. They've got the PDF form where you can print all of these out, step-by-step instructions, including all the pictures so that you see absolutely amazing projects in there where you can create your lovely, let me see if I get this the right way around. Becky, sorry, we'll go that way. Where you literally create beautiful boxes, beautiful bags, nice normal boxes, actually, just a normal straightforward chunky box. Absolutely gorgeous. What about this one? Love this one.
Yeah.
So cool. How beautiful is that? And this is just, well, 1, 2, 3, 4 of all the different projects that you can make with this. This absolutely is amazing. And this is just the USB section. Yeah. So gorgeous boxes where you get that step-by-step tuition from our gorgeous Sarah. Something a little bit different as well. You've even got things like, look at this, love this. Lovely little bags, faceted bags. You've got lovely desk tidies on there as well that you can make, which again, all of this is on that USB and more, and that's not with the fabulous Ultimate Pro. It comes with the fabulous Pro, but what I'm saying is the Ultimate Pro in itself is just a fantastic board, which I'm going to run it through its paces later on in the next hour, because guess what now, Becky? I get a bit of a break.
You do indeed.
Getting a bit of a break. Absolutely. So I know the guys are itching to get back for their final stint, and I'm itching to actually sit and watch them as well, because I can't wait to see all the gorgeous goodies that they've got coming up. So Becky, I'm off to go and grab a cuppa, and then I'm going to sit down and watch.
Perfect. We will be back with Debbie in an hour, but now we are going to head on into a break because we need you to pour yourself a tipple of your choice and get ready to sit back and relax, because you are about to be taken on a crafting adventure with the wonderful Gordon and Justin. Be creative, back after this.
Quick Buy, all your crafty must-haves in a flash. Put away your tape measure and fabric scissors. The Threader's fabric cutter offers accuracy and precision with every cut. This handy tool slices through fabric in a guillotine style. Its ergonomic design features a comfortable and protective handle, so it's safe and easy to use whether you're right or left-handed. Its 45mm rotary blade will cut up to 6 layers of fabric at a time, so your sewing, quilting, and upholstery project times are cut down to size. It's equipped with a measuring guide in metric and imperial for a perfectly accurate cut every time. The built-in grid ruler has 30-degree, 45-degree, and 60-degree angle lines, so you can cut fabric on any angle, including the bias. Quick Buy, all your crafty must-haves in a flash.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the Crafters Companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every pound, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Quick Buy, all your crafty must-haves in a flash.
Make light work of intricate and delicate die-cutting designs with the Pokey Tool from Crafter's Companion. An absolute essential part of any paper crafter's kit, its precise tip has been designed to release the tiniest pieces to reveal your finished results with absolute precision. And to make sure your finished project is perfect, each Pokey Tool has a rubber tip protector, so there's no risk of damaging your die-cutting design or yourself. The Crafter's Companion Pokey Tool is such an essential craft item, we've included 2 in each set.
Quick Buy, get yours now. Welcome to Crafters TV. With more than 35 hours of live shows each week, it's your home for all things craft. We shine the spotlight on new and innovative crafting products with live tutorials and demonstrations. Join our family of craft experts where fun happens every day.
Quiet. The neighbours.
I'm all out of Zoom. I'm so lost without you. I'm not singing.
Lisa, if you email in, don't send a picture of your air fryer. Make sure it's something creative.
Get creative and craft along. With our amazing deals, your next craft project is just a click away. Tune in live 7 days a week, or you can watch us on Catch Up at crafterscompanion.com, Facebook, or our YouTube channels. You can chat to us, craft along, and meet new friends by joining our online crafting community.
You entertain us, you give us a community to talk, in the chat. That wouldn't happen without you guys. It's like Crafter's Companion is magical. There's magic here.
Joy, there's not a dry eye in the studio here. Debbie's welling up, I'm welling up.
There's a show for every type of crafter, from first-time dabblers to full-time makers. Crafters TV, create every day.
Welcome back to Crafters TV. Well, let me tell you this for now. We have got a mega opportunity for you. How speedy are you feeling? We're in limited stock right now on our wonderful Whizzy tool. Now, I have to let you know this. I have got 4 left. 4 left only, okay? So it's fastest finger first. You remember Speedy Gonzales off of like the cartoons? Yeah, you need to be like that. If you've got it in your basket, do not dilly or dally, shilly or shally. Check this out right now. It has been popular. 4 left for you now. £20 or $28.99 for you. It is your final chance. I want to let you know that another popular treasure nipping at its heels has been our spray Emboss from the wonderful Be Creative. If you've not met them yet, don't worry, I'll introduce you in a minute. I just needed to let you know we've got around 60% of the stock on this gone. You get a double trouble because it's one of those items, even just from that show earlier on with Gordon, that I thought, I know full well that once I start using this, I ain't going to want to stop. So we want to give you 2 so that you can find out all of the excellent things that these can do. And again, it is a discounted deal. We have got the lovely Gordon and Justin on the show with us today, and we are going to be crafting up a storm. Got a question? Message it in on our socials, and don't forget to save this show so that when you do get your Be Creative goodies, you can follow along as well. It is my pleasure to be back in with the lovely Gordon. How are you getting on, Gordon?
We're fine, we're still here.
Yes, you're still here. Now, we had a little chat about Be Creative earlier on.
Yeah, we did.
For all of our American friends who haven't maybe seen you, what is it that people, your repeat customers, love about your Be Creative collections?
It's because we're innovative. For 22 years, I have solved problems for crafters. I always look at something and think, is there a better way to do that? And if there is, and Justin will tell you, I'm a bit bloody minded. I'll go at it like nothing on earth until I solve the problem and see if I can come up with a new product to help people. So I do it with my stamping platform. We did it with the Whizzy tool, Spray Emboss, which is oh my God, the most important thing we've ever done in our lives. And it's a continual thing. We're always looking at it thinking, how can we make things better and more interesting for people to use? Yeah.
And that is, you can completely see with the range that we've got today, that's definitely what we've done. So Spray Emboss is on your screen right now. Shall we have a little start on the crafting? Let's just do it. I'm with you, Gordon. What were you up to?
Well, in the last show we had, someone asked me about embossing folders, and I said, yeah, you can do it. Since then, since the last show, we've had a couple of emails from people in the USA, again, asking about embossing folders.
Great.
So why don't we start with an embossing folder? So the biggest, we're talking about embossing folders. I have one here, which is an A4 one. Yep, A4 one with a pattern. It can be any embossing folder. And if you have any of these 3D embossing folders, oh my God, the depth of embossing you can create with Spray Emboss is out of this world.
Wow.
Now, I don't have one of those here. I've got my old A4 one here, which I've had for many, many years, yeah? But the problem with the A4 one, everybody will have experienced this, you don't tend to get even and deeply embossed all over an A4 embossing folder. Because of the way the rollers work in the machine, it varies, and you will tend to get a dead spot in the middle compared to the outside.
Right.
So, how does Spray Emboss fix this? Well, okay, so first of all, Spray Emboss has a little lever on the front of the bottle. You move that to the side to activate it. You would not believe the amount of people who get Spray Emboss. It doesn't work. And we'll say, did you move the little lever? Oh yeah, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you that. So we take our A4 piece of card and we aim the Spray Emboss at it. We always say about 12 inches away. Spray Emboss is an ultra-fine mist spray, okay? Aim it at the card. Now, as this is an A4 embossing folder, we want to spritz the card, both sides, evenly, all over the folder. It's a very fine mist spray. You don't see Spray Emboss dropping off the card because we've hardly used any. If you've got big drips falling off there, you've gone way overboard and you're wasting your Spray Emboss.
Okay.
You don't have to do that. Now, we then leave Spray Emboss. Our golden rule is about 30 seconds. The longer you leave it, actually, the better it is. You can actually do this the night before you're doing your crafting, let it dry, and then the next day you will get the same results, because once Spray Emboss penetrates the card and the fibres, it stays on there permanently. It doesn't go away.
That's amazing.
That's the good thing about it. We found that out by mistake, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we were experimenting and I couldn't believe that happened. So it does work. So
that's great.
Let's take our embossing folder here. Let's put this inside and let's have a look at the depth of the embossing. Now then, by the way, the card I'm using in here is 320 grams. That's pretty thick card.
Yeah.
Not that many people use that thick, usually about maybe 200 up to 250. I like to use the thickest card I've got to prove a point. I want to show people what's possible with Spray Emboss. So I've got my trusty die cutting machine here. I get my trusty glasses on so I can see what I'm doing.
Always helps.
Let's just roll this back. Now then, let's take the embossing folder. Now, when you're putting an embossing folder through a machine, by the way, especially an A4 one, always go with the open end first, because the end that's closed is actually the thickest end, and that's the more difficult end to catch in your rollers. So my top tip, always go with the open end, much, much easier.
Okay.
So we put that on there. We put our top plate on here. Let's just roll this back and forward, then I'll show you the depth of the embossing and how even it is throughout the embossing folder, which is what we want.
Miriam's asked, do you need a certain cardstock to use the spray?
what?
Miriam's asked, do you need a certain cardstock to use the spray?
Any cardstock.
Great.
The good thing about Spray Emboss is we have seen people buying the most abysmal cardstock. I'll be honest with you. I think, oh my God, why have you bought that? Really poor quality. And they say, it doesn't do this, it doesn't do that. We've tested it for people with Spray Emboss, solves all the problems.
That's great.
Yep.
It's really good, that.
Yep. We've never been defeated yet.
That's great.
In 17 years.
Wow.
There will be a first time, no doubt. So let's just bring this back over here again. I hold it like that.
Yeah.
We always say the proof is in the pudding. Let's, where's the open end? Here we are. Let's open this up. Now, remember, 320 gram card, folks, very thick card.
Yeah.
And remember the problems with big embossing folders? The depth of the embossing, especially in the middle. Let me show you that.
Oh, gorgeous.
And let me turn it over to the deboss side.
Wow.
You will never see that unless you use spray emboss. That's the beauty of spray emboss. You can see it does no harm whatsoever to your cardstock. That will be dry in about a minute. It's perfectly straight, no harm whatsoever. You can now then go about doing your colouring or whatever you want to do with it. It is perfect. So that's the first thing I want to show you. So that answers the lady who asked us on the last show earlier on, and the couple of you who have sent in emails asking me about embossing folders. Remember, 3D embossing folders, I can only say, wow, you give it a try. Amazing, absolutely amazing.
Fab.
So, the next thing we're moving on to, we've done the embossing folder. Okay, earlier on today, we talked about the early days of die cutting, a long, long time ago now. And I was at the forefront of die cutting with Spellbinders right from the very beginning, when we were the distributor for the UK and Europe. We helped Spellbinders do so many things. You'll all remember the old wizard machine. And I actually have the prototype of that machine at home.
Oh, wow.
Next time I'm here, I think I'll bring it and we can all have a little look at it.
That'd be
and
great.
we can reminisce about the good old days.
Love it.
So, from the past 17 years, again, I'm not going to cheat. Here is one of my nightmare dies, yeah? Look at that die. It's one of those types of dies that you all struggle with. It's one of those dies that usually ends up being flung against the wall or going in the bin. And of course, we said earlier on, over 17 years, I have seen hundreds and hundreds of die cutting machines broken. The reason they break, the rollers are stretched apart and the bearings that hold the rollers give way. End of your die cutting machine. Now, why has that happened? It's happened because people have been trying to cut their dies in the corners, in the side of the machine, because they think they've been told that's where there's a sweet spot to try and get the pressure. Other people will pack their machines up with all sorts of shims that are not part of the machine's instructions, but again, you're just trying to cut your dies. But what you don't realise is you're stretching the rollers too far, and bit by bit those rollers are pressing in the bearings, end of your machine, and that's how all the machines fail. We have never broken a machine in 17 years because we use spray emboss. So let's have a look. What we're going to do, I'm going to put the right plates back in my machine. Let me just get my plates back. What I'm going to do, first thing we're going to look is what you experience at home with a die this intricate. But we're not going to do it at the side or corners. We're not going to use shims. We're going to put it right in the middle of the machine, because why make a machine that's not supposed to cut in the middle? You just think about it, it doesn't make sense. So let's go in the middle. 320 gram card again, not cheating. We're using the thickest card we have because we want to prove something to you. We really want to show you what we can do. So this piece of 320 gram card has no spray emboss, and I'm going to run this back and forward twice, just the way I know people do it at home. So we run it back and forward once that way. What we're going to do now, we're going to twist it 180 degrees, and I'm going to run it back and forward once more. Okay, let's go again and have a look at the result. Forward and back. Let's take that off. Right, now the proof is in the pudding. Let's have a look and see if that has cut out. We'll pull it out of the die like that. You're going to get bits that are cut, but half of it is not cut. Now, normally what you would then do, you'd run it back and forward, you twist it back and forward, twist it different ways and keep persevering to see if you can get that cut. You'll get your pokey tool out, you'll end up ruining the card because it hasn't cut and you can't poke them out. That is a problem with so many dies, and we all have them. Okay, let's do the same again. So this time, I'm going to make a noise, hold on. I'm going to go like that, quickest way to clean my die, won't do any harm. And here we have our second piece of card, exactly the same as the first, 320 gram. We'll put our die on there. The difference this time is we're going to get our spray emboss.
Okay.
We're going to hold that about 12 inches away. And we're going to spritz it lightly on both sides like that. Remember, spray emboss is a fine mist spray. We leave it for about 30 seconds or slightly longer if you like.
Great.
Let it penetrate the card and do its work. It's interacting with those fibres, it's changing the makeup of the fibres so that it can do its job. That's very important to leave it at least 30 seconds.
Great.
If you leave it a minute, in my opinion, you get even better results. It depends how patient you are, you know.
I see. Dee has actually asked a question whilst we're letting that sink in. Dee has said, could you use the spray emboss on vellum?
I don't know if I've... do you know, I don't know about that. I've never done it.
Experiment time.
Experiment and let us know, because I'm not sure if vellum is porous or if it rejects. You know, test it. There's something I haven't tried.
Great, good.
Maybe I have at some time in the past and forgotten. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I can't remember doing that actually, but maybe I did. So, the same thing again. We're going to repeat what we just done. Okay, we're going to go forward and back, just as we did the first time, using the same die, centre of the machine, same card, 320 gram. The difference this time, we used spray emboss. Now, look at that, compared to what we had the first time. That is actually fully cut, yeah?
Yeah.
Now, it wasn't the first time, but remember what we said earlier on. I'm going to repeat it again because this helps people enormously. What people don't realise is, in dye production, there can be up to a 20% failure rate on the cutting edge of dyes. Now, usually those dyes are rejected, but we know from experience that a lot of them sneak through the system, and you end up buying them and then wondering why they don't cut. And some of the cutting edge will be shallower than the rest. Now, if you've got one of those dyes, at this point, having done this, you will see the problem. You will see it's not cutting. Well, let me help you solve this problem. This one is okay, but this is just to help you. You will then take the die embedded in the card, you will take your spray emboss, you will aim it, not at that side with the die, the other side, and you will spritz it lightly like that. Very light spritzing, okay? Now remember the first time, we ran it that way, and as we did with the non-spray emboss card, we turned it 180 degrees and ran it through again. So the only difference this time is we've spritzed it with spray emboss, yeah? And I just did that there a second time. If you have any of those nightmare dyes, people do have them. So this time we'll do the same as we did the first time. Back through our machine, we've reversed it 180 degrees, so it's forward and back once more, that's all. My golden rule for spray emboss with really awkward dyes is no more than 2 passes through your machine. None of this 10 or 12 times to try and get a die cut. Two forward, 2 back, my golden rule, that's it. So, the proof is in the pudding. Remember that a second ago, yeah? Let's see what this one's like. Let's go, let's pull it out. Easy does it.
Oh, you can see how crisp that is already.
There we are. These bits here, just to prove it to you, they are all cut out. We'll just do that, knock them out like that. I don't even need a pokey tool, because every piece of this is perfectly cut out. We can just do that, remove everything. They're all just falling out. Yeah, no pokey tool or anything required. That is absolutely perfect compared to that. What would you rather do? We all love doing die cutting. We don't want to spend all day trying to cut a die. If we can cut it in 1 or a maximum of 2 passes through the machine, and we're talking about our most awkward dies, that solves an awful lot of problems for you. As we said before, it does no harm to your card or paper, doesn't stop you doing anything that you normally do. It dries very quickly as well. If anything, when you colour your card and paper, it will actually enhance your colours as well. It has that effect, which is really good. So, solves your die cutting problem, solves the problem for your embossing folders. And now we're going to look at one more thing.
Yay.
Because think of the name of spray emboss, emboss. Because originally, all those years ago, when we started, the dies were so simple, unbelievably simple. So there was no problem cutting a simple die with a simple cutting edge. But we all wanted to emboss things, and we really would want to do some amazing things with embossing. You in America will remember the days of our old wizard machine. Some of you might know Stacey and Jeff Caron, who started it all, 2 wonderful people and Stacey was a trooper, used to dash around America non-stop. Oh my God, that lady, she did a lot of work. So what we're going to do now, I have a piece of black card this time, yeah? This is about 250, 260 gram. And we have a plastic stencil, just an ordinary everyday plastic stencil. We all know what we're going to do. We hold the card about 12 inches away, on goes the spray emboss, onto both sides, paying attention to the centre because that's where the stencil is going to go. Remember the golden rule, leave it about 30 seconds up to 50 seconds. That's the good thing to do. And then we can run it through our machine. So this time, I'm going to take the embossing plate. So we take the stencil, again, right in the middle of the machine, on with our piece of card, oops, on with our embossing mat, and on with the top plate. We'll just quickly run it forward and back. And what I want you to see is the depth of the embossing. It's quite extraordinary. And it doesn't matter what cardstock you use, it doesn't matter how thick the cardstock. Remember, I go up to 320 grams and I get fantastic results with spray emboss. I have no problem at all. So let's have a look at this. So remember, this is on black card. I hope sometimes it's difficult to pick up the black on the camera. So if I can get that, there we are. I'm trying to catch it in the light.
Yeah, you can see it.
Can you see the depth of that?
Yeah.
There we are. Let me turn it over to the back, the deboss side. Yeah, so this is about 260 gram card. We've really got the depth of that embossing there. See that?
Yeah, definitely.
That's extraordinary. So we're not finished. What are we going to do next? We're now going to turn to the Twilight. I'm going to say the Twilight zone. Yeah, it is. I've been here all day. It does feel like I'm definitely in the Twilight zone. So what we're going to do in the Twilight zone, we're going to take this side we did the embossing on. We're going to take the stencil, and the trick, this is actually, you need good eyesight, the trick is placing the stencil back over the embossed. Because it's embossed deeply anyway, it's not that difficult because the stencil sort of glides onto the embossed area. So I'm going to take some of my low-tack tape. What was it Justin called this tape earlier on? Safety tape.
Safety tape.
I have no idea where that comes from. I call it low-tack safety tape.
It's just before he started talking about different types of duck.
Yeah, Justin is definitely gone. He's been talking about ducks, safety tape, God knows what else. It's been a long, long day. So there we are. We've taped that on over the embossed area. So I just want to quickly show you the Twilight paints, and I'm going to use some of the iridescents and some of the non-iridescents. Now, the Twilights come like this. They all come in, where are we? There we are, in a set of 6 like that. Each individual paint comes out like that, so you can use them individually, so you don't splash over and contaminate other colours, and they all come with a wonderful water brush, which is a really good water brush, by the way. So the beauty of the Twilights is they are packed with more pigment than you can ever imagine. We don't have to fill the palette up with water and mix it in for about 2 or 3 minutes to try and pick the pigment up. Quite the opposite. So let's watch. Let me show you what we can do. Now, to do this with a stencil, we take a little piece of sponge, which I'll show you. I'll just get my tissue. So I've cut up some little pieces of sponge here. They're in my bowl of water here. Let me just get them like that. So I'll just show you them. Where are we? There we are. See my little sponges? Now, I do not want water dripping off them. So what I do, I take a piece of tissue, I wrap them in the tissue, just go like that, get the excess water off them. Because if I don't do that when we're about to start this, the water will run under the stencil, and that's just not going to look very good.
Treasure Heart has just asked, are you using special sponges for the paint?
You can use any sponges.
Great.
I don't even know what these are. I think these are little bits of natural sponges.
Right.
We bought a little pack of them for about £1.50. They are so cheap. You in America, Joann's or Michael's, you'll be able to buy little packs of these in there. They're not expensive things to buy. So what we do now, this is what we do. We don't put water in the paints. We take our little sponge, yeah? Let's go with the lemon colour first of all. We rub the sponge in the top of the paint like that. And what I'm going to show you, hold on, let me just do that. That's it. And I can you see the pigment on there?
Yeah.
I think you can.
Yeah.
What we're going to do, we're going to take the sponge and I'm going to start dabbing it on here. And as I dab it on, I'm going to use about 3 colours. Okay. Now the only problem we got in here, the studio lights, are drying my little sponges too quick. But don't worry about that, we just keep going. So I'm just dabbing it through the stencil, just rubbing it on the paint, picking up the pigment. I'll just keep going with this. So I'm going to use about 3 different colours.
Perfect.
Yep.
If you do want the Twilight Sparkling watercolour set, there's 6 different colours. The colours that we're using at the moment is set 2, the ones that Gordon's working with at the moment, and set 1 is like the metallics, so it's the metal colours, the silvers, the rose golds, etc. So have a little nosy online because you've got 6 to choose from on there. One question that we have had in a couple of different ways about the spray emboss is, can you use it on mirror cards and glitter cards?
Right, so those types of card you have to experiment, because there are no 2 types of glitter card and mirror card are the same. So experiment with trying it on the reverse only. And mirror card, some mirror cards, you can use it on both sides. It doesn't affect the mirror card. Other mirror cards, it does. So what I would say is just take a little bit of your mirror card and experiment. Glitter card, I must admit, I can't remember trying glitter card because that's a pretty tough card. You can try it on the reverse and see. I think mirror card has like a plastic coating on the back though. I'm not quite sure. Again, just take a little bit, just try it and see what happens. It's all about experimenting, and as I say, every day people tell me different things that I didn't know it did. So it's all about experimenting, having fun, and seeing what works for you. Don't be scared of it. So
Perfect.
we're now taking one of the iridescent lilac or pink colours. You can see this is going wonderful through the stencil. Can you see that picking up? Yeah, so I just keep going with my little sponge technique. It's so simple, anyone can do this. To do this, you do not have to be an artist. Obviously you have the water brush. If you feel you want to use it, that's wonderful. If not, try my little technique with a sponge. Now, another technique, by the way, you can take a piece of bubble wrap, roll it into a ball, dip it in a little bit of water, and then rub it in the top of the paint, the way we've done with the sponge, and then start applying the bubble wrap onto card. And trust me, you will be amazed at the effect you can get with bubble wrap. And then go a bit further, try other things that have texture on it. As long as it's slightly damp, you can apply it to the top of the paints and see what you can achieve. It's all about experimenting. I'm going to do one more colour. No, I'm going to use this one. We're going to try this iridescent silver here. Again, take my little sponge, wipe it on there like that. Oh, I think that's not damp enough. Again, the studio lights are drying everything out in here. That should do it. Rub that on there like that. So you can see there's no water going on there.
No.
Yep.
This just in. The Wizzy news just in. Very serious now. I don't know why I'm pressing this here when my talkback's in the other, but it's too late now. The
Right.
Wizzy tool is gone. Repeat. The Wizzy tool is gone. And the blender pads have gone. Repeat, blender pads have gone. But well done to everyone who has managed to get them. I've got well over 60% of the spray emboss gone as well. Don't forget, we have got over half an hour left with Gordon and Justin. If you've got any questions, wing them this way.
Hey, you can go home now, Justin. I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. You can. So let's just finish off with this colour. Do you know, I can keep going and keep going and keep going. This is very, very therapeutic, by the way.
Yeah, it looks
really
relaxing.
is. It's wonderful to do it and watch those colours appear before your eyes, because you just take your time. I'm in no rush to do this. Well, I am tonight, but normally I wouldn't be. So let's do the big reveal. Let's peel this off now and have a look. Oop, come on, come off there. And just have a look at that onto the black card over the embossed surface.
Oh, it looks great. Look at that.
See how good that is? If I
Wow.
do that, you can see it twinkling in the light. Yeah?
So
see
metallic.
the shimmer of it? Because these paints are packed more pigment than you've ever seen, I have to tell you. That's why we only have to touch the surface of the paint to pick up that pigment. These paints will go a long way because we don't have to flood them with water to use them. We're literally only skimming the surface and off you go.
Oh, it's just fantastic, isn't it? We have got so much love coming through for you. Just wow. And people saying, what a cool product. Nicely done, Be Creative. If you do want to find out more about the Twilights, we have got some more demos coming up for you in a little bit, because Justin's going to be doing some in a little bit too. If you do want to seize the moment on the spray emboss, now is your chance. But if you love a bit of stamping, and you were looking earlier on, we were talking about the stamps, how about some massive background stamps? I've got some right here from you for Be Creative. These are 7 by 7 backgrounds. They are mega. So let me show you. You've got your lovely clear sort of photopolymer design, so you can see exactly what you're stamping. I love this one. It's so ornate. This is your flourish background, and just check out the kind of look you can do with it. Isn't that wonderful? So I've not just got that one. If you would like it, it is discount, save 15% today. So this is your Flourishes background stamp. Really pretty, lovely sort of lianas, if you will. It's really pretty indeed. One that we did earlier on as well, the antique script would go really nicely with it, I think, as like a layered up design. What's that? Oh, what's that TV show that was dead big like last year, where them women wore all the big frocks, and it was all like, ooh, give me my smelling salts, Bridgerton, 10 points, Johnny. Yeah, you're right. God, gosh, we'd be great as a charade team. But this is your antique script. I adore this because you have got that real feeling of kind of olden day love notes, and I mean, it just looks fabulous. Is your backgrounds as well. $9.99 or $14.49 on that one. This is popular. Anybody in animal lumber, please raise your paws, because look at what we've got. Furry friends here for you. I absolutely love them. See how many animals you can spot. And also, may I suggest, is a little cute idea, how great would they be with like our trifold cards? You could actually do a background and then cut into it, and then they could chat to each other. It'd be like, where's Wally, but with dogs and cats. So we have got your Furry Friends background stamp, again 7 inches by 7 inches. Just check out, if you love colouring in, how relaxing and fun is this going to be to do? You could pick out different types of dogs. You could do one that maybe looks like your dog, couldn't you? You could do one that looks like your cat as well. They're just fabulous. Let's go now for anyone who loves a little bit of multimedia, like mixed media. I think this one's fabulous. It's bold, it's striking, and look at that wow factor it creates. I love my mixed media. I'm loving the idea of this with like your 3D pastes almost. You could give you a really interesting look. $9.99 or $14.49. That's a saving of 15%. And if you want to recreate this, may I suggest treating yourself to this one, which is your Make-A-Wish. Now, the Make-A-Wish for me is so lovely for spring and summer. Spring is around the corner. I've been told so by the weather. But you've got balloons on here. You've got sentiments such as best wishes, and you've got love in there too. Let me show you this one. I think you're about to swoon. Oh my goodness, how magical does that feel? Imagine if someone made you that card. Wouldn't it raise a smile? Definitely. So that is your Make-A-Wish stamp if you would like that one. I've got another one here which is going to be very, very useful indeed. This one has got lovely sentiments in it, including happy birthday. Just to give you an idea of size on these, you're looking at around about 130 mil to 53 mil, sorry, on the happy birthday. Just to give you an idea, they're nice sizable pieces. I've got congratulations, I've got thank you, I'm thinking of you, and more. So that is another one for you. And if you would like to see, oh, sorry, I'm just behind the scenes, Justin just swoops it in like he's sliding a drink to me across a bar in a Western. We have got, to give you an idea of the overall look, just look at how stunning that is. Really nice, the two different fonts in one as well, isn't it? And that's with that stenciling technique we did earlier on, the embossing technique. I love that. As well as this, I have got for you your poppy background stamp, which I have to say would go great with the Be Creative poppy dies that we did earlier on, the big ones. Lovely design and detail to colour in, but also check this out. Oh my goodness, feels like you're in a magic wonderland, doesn't it? Again, for you today, $9.99 or $14.49. Very, very popular, these. And can I just suggest to you, if you are a fan of a stamp, let me suggest you get yourself a Stamper's Friend Pro, because this bit of kit is one of those tools that I think, this just in, half my stock's gone. Half of my stock has gone on this one, just to let you know. But if you haven't seen this before, but you've always had maybe smaller stamping platforms, or maybe even stamping platforms that are only really good for your rubber stamps and not so much your photopolymer, for example, this is about to change it all. And the lovely Gordon is going to tell us how.
So this new Stamper's Friend, we call it the Stamper's Friend Pro because it's the third version of our Stamper's Friend. This one has taken 12 years, 12 years, yeah. It feels like 12 years, 12 months. It's taken 12 months from start to finish.
Wow.
This is a different construction from any of the stamping platforms we've done before. It is ultra strong. It's been put together in layers to strengthen it. It's not made from plastic, not made from a mold. What does that mean? It means you have to use very little pressure for even the biggest stamps to get a perfect stamped image. That's what we tried to achieve. None of all this pressing and none of this, lid after lid after lid. We don't have to do it with this tool. We've made it so easy for everyone. So let's show you again. Now, I want to do something different this time. We're using our premium watercolour card. Why do we call it premium? Our watercolour card is packed full of cotton. The amount of cotton in the card is important for watercolour card, and again we've gone as far as we can with cotton, and that is the reason we call it premium watercolour card. Now, with watercolour card, there's a smooth side, there's a textured side, and you might think, like I used to think, that you use the smooth side, but you don't, you use the rough side. And now you're going to say, why is that, Gordon?
Why is that, Gordon?
Yeah, and I'm going to say, I have no idea. Someone told me. So what we're going to do, we're going to get our wonderful spray emboss again. Watch this. So I'm going to spritz this on here, okay? Not too much. That one will do. I'll put that down on here. We hold it down with the magnets. And we're going to use our wonderful USA collage stamp.
Great.
The name of which has gone out of my mind.
I know what you mean.
Yeah,
It's
we're going to
me.
use our USA stamp, especially for you in the USA.
The Liberty.
Sorry?
Liberty
collage.
Yeah,
Oh my
that's the
God.
one. It came to me.
It really has been a long day, folks. But we're going to do something different. So I've got the stamp here. Normally we put the stamp side down. We're not going to do that. We're going to put the wrong side down. And we're going to pick the stamp up with the wrong side.
Okay.
Now, why, you're all asking, what's he up to? Well, I'll show you. We're going to create a watercolour technique, okay? So we pick the stamp up, but we're looking at the wrong side. What do? Well, I'm trying to think what I'm going to do. I'm going back to my little sponge.
Okay.
Right? And I'm going back to the Twilights. And I'm going to take some colour. We put spray emboss on the water card, first of all. So we're now going to bring that over. Well, let's go back to our cloth technique I showed you earlier on, which makes stamping easy for you all. You just rub the cloth like that, side to side, up and down. Very, very little pressure. It's so easy, anyone can do it. Whether you've got problems in your hands, your wrists, your arms, it doesn't matter. We can all do this. And you're cleaning the lid at the same time, so double purpose. Let's open that up. There is my first image, you can see it there. Okay, I'll get my other little sponge here. Let's go for a different colour. Let's try that. Pressing gently as we go, going all the way over the big stamp. This technique is great for the big stamps. This is a full A5, and of course we have the big 7x7 stamps as well. Let's open that up. So you can see I now have a wonderful watercolour background. So what do we do now? We get a baby white very quickly. We get the colour off the back of the stamp, and I think you're all guessing. I think maybe you're all guessing what we're going to do now. we are going to turn the stamp over.
Okay.
And we're now going to stamp with the proper side, like you normally do.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Just to interrupt for half a second, we did have a little bit of a technical issue then on Facebook. Sorry about that. It was the little gremlins nibbling at the wires, but we've shooed them away. And it should be back up and working now. If it does go a bit weird for some reason, do head on over to our YouTube, but sorry about that.
Okay, so I'm going to take the stamp now. Now we're going to take the proper side, lay it down on top of the watercolour background we just created there. Okay, let's just clean the lid and get anything off it. Where are we? Let's just quickly do that. Otherwise we won't be able to pick the stamp up. Let's bring that down. Let's rub over the top of it again. We'll use our cloth technique, which is a very, very simple technique. Rub like that, up and down, back and forward. Do that, we've picked the stamp up. Simple as that. Now this time, because we've used the Twilight paints, which are watercolours, I'm going to use a different type of ink, not a watercolour ink, because obviously that will interact with them and we'll end up with a bit of a splodge.
Yes.
So what we're going to do, I've selected these wonderful American colours, red and blue. What else could it be, really? And I'm going to take these and doesn't do that.
Right.
You will get a perfect stamped image every time, and this technique is to help you out there who really do have problems with stamping with your arms, your hands, etc. This makes it all much easier for you. So let's pick that one up. So you can see we've got our image there over the top of our watercolour background. Now we will take the red and let's go with the red. So remember, we're not trying to get your normal type of stamp image. We're trying to make this more like a watercolour effect, as if you had done a painting. That's what we're trying to do. It's different from something you would normally do. It's just giving you a different type of technique. Let's bring that down again. So this is our second. And if this works, we should have a wonderful, like, red, white and blue image, hopefully. And it should look like we've painted a watercolour, yeah?
Fabulous.
If it works, my name's Gordon. If it doesn't, my name's Justin. So again, we just rub over, up and down, side to side, gently, adding gentle pressure all over the stamp like that. And let's have the big reveal. I'm going to hold this up and let you all see it. You can be the judge of what I've done.
Oh, that looks
and
great.
Does it look like a watercolour like we tried to do? I think it does. There we are. It has that watercolour effect.
Oh, look
you see
at that. That looks great.
So we did something there very, very different using the watercolour card. We had to spritz the card with the spray emboss before we used the back of the stamp, where with the Twilight paints, we applied them, pressed it down a few times onto the watercolour with the spray emboss. That gave us that wonderful, amazing background. Then we used the two different inks to go over the top, and it really does look like a watercolour painting. It looks like somebody's painted that, not stamped it.
It really does. Oh, that's incredible. And imagine if you had painted that. That would genuinely take you hours, if not days. Gordon, thank you so much. We're going to be getting some more demos from Justin in mere moments, but before that, let me just remind you what we used for that. We used our cotton enriched watercolour card and our wonderful Stampers Friend Pro, and used these in collaboration with our stamps to be able to create that wonderful element. If you want your watercolour card, it's here. You get 20 of the A4 sheets, and as we said, it is cotton enriched, so this has got a really unique and individual feel to it, which is really exciting. I've not worked with this one before, but I did have a little feel of them before, and it definitely felt different to a lot of watercolour card I've seen. So if you do fancy it, save them 15% on that one today. Don't forget, we have also got the Stampers Friend Pro, which is that wonderful toolkit that we had in for you earlier on. So this is your tool. Oh, stay. Oh, just like my dog doesn't listen to me. We have got the Stampers Pro here. You get the magnets within this, which are nice and super strong. You get the measuring board as well, and you get this piece of foam. So if you're going to be using your photopolymer, you slide that in, and if not, you're going to use your rubber, you take it out, and it gives you different sort of pressure points, if that makes sense. So it's a really, really handy element to have. It's got instructions on the back of how to use it in case you are new to these, and again, discount deal galore. You are getting it platinum price, just $39.19 or $56.83, so well worth it. If you would like some more stamps, because you know how much you love stamping and you'd like a little bit of inspo, let's bring to you a 2-pack collection of your A5 stamps, and we're going to be talking about these with the lovely Justin in just a few tickety-boos. Let me tell you what you're getting. You've got your fields of poppies here, including lovely bees in here and wonderful butterflies, and then I've also got for you your elegant peonies, which includes the sentiment congratulations, which, just to give you an idea of size, is around about 90 mil by 38 mil. These are so wonderfully detailed and intricate, and today 15% off. We have got the wonderful Justin in with us today. Hiya, Justin.
Hi, Becky, you're right.
Oh, I'm so good. Can I ask you what you love about these stamps?
Oh, they are so versatile. They can be a birthday card, a sentimental card, and it can be a romantic card. It's, you know, I mean, it's the peony. It can be a Chinese New Year card as well. It's called the Queen of Flower in the ancient dynasties.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, they are more valuable than roses during the dynasties.
Wow, that's incredible.
And then lilies are lilies and peonies are actually classified royal flowers. And chrysanthemums as well, and those are only usually what it is very, very wealthy person or the royal family.
Wow.
They're able to have those colors, especially the yellow ones.
I love that. Every day is a school day. So what can we do with these, Justin?
Okay, I'm just going to do a lily one. And especially I like the lily one. It's just, it has a little bee with it and everything just goes with it. There's one thing about this, the Stampers brand is, the Pro, or usually what I do is a lot of, some of the Stampers brand, some of the stamping platform out there, they do have gaps on the bottom, on the side. For me, I like it when it's all squared up like this. So if I do need reference, I always do, if I want to restamp it, I'll show you why I'm doing this. I always put it right to the corner, then put your 4 magnets down. Okay, the first one I'm going to do is to just put my lily down. Okay, and then I'm going to use my sentiment, wishing you the best. Then I'm going to use a little bee with that as well. So all I'm going to use a slightly bigger one, but this time because of that area there, I'm just going to take that up, just ink them up together straight away. And I'm just wishing for you. Sometimes I do that, I'm just like still playing a music tone to that. Okay, so all I'm doing there now, I'm just going to give it a press. Okay, so all you need to do, just lift it up, and then if you do have a bit of there, all you need to do, just press that gentle there, and away you go.
Great.
Okay, so I just take that one, I'm going to leave that one there at the moment. I'm going to take that sentiment off because I'm not going to use that again. Then, because you see why I left it there, why I have used the corners for that. So I'm going to use the Twilight. So I've actually used a mixture of colors. As one of the set is the iridescent one.
Set number 2.
And then one of them is the more of the metal one. I think it's set number 6.
Right.
Is it? Yes, that's why I'm using that as 6. And then, of course, I'm using set number 1, which is the metallic, which is the silver. Beautiful. So I'm just trying to create something a bit more. So the good thing about our Twilight is you can actually take it off a container, like so, and then just use it as they are. Or you can actually use this as a palette as well here.
Oh, clever.
But I don't need to, because if you want to mix color, that's the best part to use, especially the iridescent white mixed with like the other solid colors. It gives it a much pastel color to that. So I'm just going to use the iridescent, which is that one there, which is more of like a purplish. So I'm just going to put the water brush comes with that. please, when you get the water brush, if you can't open it, turn it the other way.
Okay.
Instead of turn it, you do it anti-clockwise.
Right.
And screw it clockwise. Usually it's the other way around.
Yeah.
It's somehow our manufacturer did it that way. Okay, so I'm going to do that. So I'm going to squeeze tiny bit of water just to give it diluted because you're painting with that. So we just use that, and then just what I usually do, just use this area as that to make it as sharp as possible. And then just do that, and then just give it a good painting there. Because when it dries up, it gives you a much better sheen as well. Do not worry about it. Okay, so you just give it a little there, and then I'm just going to do one area to show you, and just depend on how much time we have. We have about 10 minutes, do we? Or else Debbie would not be happy. She's waiting very patiently there. Yeah, so all I'm doing here now, I'm just going to give it a very quick brush over, and I'm going to give the different colors. You can just take your time when you're at home, but because we're here, I can literally just do it very quickly, and then just give it a nice little color through.
And
like
you can really see that colour shining through. Is that because of how much pigment's in it?
Amount of pigment that is in our Twilights. It is just brilliant and fantastic what you can achieve from that as well. And then all these colors, you can actually remix them into different colors. If you buy the full 6, that means if you mix the white together and other colors together, you actually get about 24 other colors.
Wow.
More than that, yeah.
Brilliant.
So just put that, and then all you need to do is squeeze a bit more water and let it go. Just give it a little run through, and then just over here. And I'm just going to do very, very quickly on the rest as well. So just when you're home, just do it neat, and then if not, and then you can actually do this using the Twilight as a background. And then just have the stamp over it, and then make it more like vintage.
That's brilliant.
Postcard.
That's lovely.
Yeah, and then just all I need to do, just do not try not to put too much water on this one, the first coating, if you need to. Do not put too much water on it, because or else you just have to wait for it to dry before you can do your second stamping. Okay, and then all I'm doing here is just literally just give it a go, and this paint brush is just fantastic as well. Although it may look quite big, but actually it just covers the areas fantastically well.
That's so wonderful.
Okay, so once I finish with that, then I can go back to my second color, which is the pink one. I think it's set number 6. Yeah, and then all I'm going to do now, I'm just give it a little shadow on the end there, like that.
Ooh, that's a nice color.
Just to give it, this is, this lily is generic, but you can actually add in certain areas like this pink, and that's where it becomes tiger lily.
Oh, perfect.
Because tiger lily does have a little pink in the middle, and on the sides you can just give it a little dots there if you like. But it just depends on how colouring. It's just fun. You can ask Debbie, isn't it, Debbie?
Absolutely. Yeah,
it's just fun. You just need to take your time and just colour, and don't be too neat with watercolour. Watercolour does not need to be neat, because sometimes when it's not neat, it sort of gives it a much more character to it. It's not nature. Although a lot of people say flowers are perfect, but not all flowers are perfect.
Absolutely. There is so much love coming in for you all. Absolutely, loads of people adoring these. Loretta says, I need that stamping platform. Whose is it?
It's Be Creative.
It's the Be Creative platform if you do want to treat yourself. People talking about how much shimmer and beauty these Twilights are bringing off. Victoria had a question. For the Make-A-Wish stamp sample that we showed earlier on that had a shimmer, was that using the Twilight?
Yes, it is.
Perfect. That's great, isn't it?
Because the Twilight does give you lots of shimmer to it, and then it's all you need to do is to just give it a bit of, do not need lots of water. You do not need to dilute it too much. And then that's where it helps to give it on to it. and it helps to maintain that color, the shimmer on that. So I'm just going to quickly just get that one done, and then just, like your coloring stem, which is quite fine, just go with the flow.
Yeah.
And walk down. To be confident. Do not stop halfway and say, oh, it's going to get out a bit. So just keep giving one method stroke, and that would be great. So I'm going to use the second color. Do not worry when you mix a bit of it with the lighter with darker. Do not worry about that, because you're soon going to use that.
Yes.
So I'm just going to do is the leaves on there.
Oh. Isn't it incredible that genuinely about 4.5 minutes ago, this was like a blank piece of card? It's
Yes.
amazing.
Yeah, it's sometimes it's quite good. That's good thing about crafting is, especially if you do not need to be, to be difficult or challenging. It's just more to yourself satisfied, to make yourself satisfied with what you're doing, and keep yourself happy. That's all that matter. Okay.
I've just had a message in from Mary saying they need to put a buy the whole website button on the website so I can just get it all done with. I love that.
Okay, so I'm just going to use the yellow very quickly, and then just do it like that, and then just pour it down, and then just do it like this. That's a good thing about watercolor. Do not need to be neat. You can be a bit on that. Okay, so once I finish with this, and let it quickly dry, I'm going to use a heat gun quickly.
Do you have to use a heat gun, or if
I'm
you've
just
got
trying
more
to do
time?
it. If you have more time, just let it dry naturally, because I'm just trying to show people what I mean by second stamping. Once you finish with that, get your stamp and ink it again.
Lovely. I've had a really difficult question whilst you're inking.
Yep.
Victoria, could you ask Justin which paint set, if he could only buy one, which one would you recommend?
Oh, okay. What is your intention of what you want to do first? That's the thing. You want something more unusual, or you want something a bit more challenging, or you want something that you can actually mix it? So for me, the first one is the gold and silver, which is it's easier for you to do it and easier for you to get started with that. So that's where you go.
Wow! So you literally just stamped over the top again. Oh.
Yep. Can you see it give you a much better image? It's because of the iridescent, it covers the black. That's why the stamping platform is a must-have. Do you see the second generic on that?
I love it. Wasn't that just absolutely incredible? There is so much love coming out for you. It's absolutely massive. Susan's saying this is a beautiful botanical illustration. Patty's saying I want the poppy stamp. It's gorgeous. There are so many of you stunning. I love this sort of technique. There has basically been people kind of asking you to move in. How lovely to see Jordan and Justin on Crafters TV. Beth saying, Jordan and Justin, thank you so much for bringing your products to us. Back to work for me, but I will see you later. There is just so much love for you. Gentlemen, thank you so much.
Thank you.
No,
it's been a wonderful day. Thank you to everybody who's supported us today, who's been watching us today. It's our
Come
first
on,
time.
Debbie.
Hopefully there's many more to come.
Yeah.
It's a new challenge, a new beginning for us.
Can we have them back again?
Yes, please.
I've been loving watching.
Yeah.
Beautiful,
It's been a great day.
Yes,
Really
it has
enjoyed
been.
it.
It's nice to see.
Thank
I
you,
wish you were
everyone.
much nearer.
Oh, I'm going to be coming and giving you a squidge at the break, I'll tell you that for now. Thank you so much. Don't forget, find them on all of the socials. Have a little nosy out there for Be Creative, and we have tagged them in some things as well. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Do not you go anywhere. We're heading on into a break, and then we've got the likes of our wonderful Ultimate Pro with Debby Robinson in just a few. We'll be back with you in 3 minutes.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every pound, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Quick Buy, all your crafty must-haves in a flash.
Make light work of intricate and delicate die-cutting designs with the Pokey Tool from Crafter's Companion, an absolute essential part of any paper crafter's kit. Its precise tip has been designed to release the tiniest pieces to reveal your finished results with absolute precision. And to make sure your finished project is perfect, each Pokey Tool has a rubber tip protector, so there's no risk of damaging your die-cutting design or yourself. The Crafter's Companion Pokey Tool is such an essential craft item, we've included 2 in each set.
Quick Buy, get yours now.
We've had to make some changes to our shipping charges and we want to keep you informed. With continued pressure on domestic shipments around mainland US, we've had to temporarily increase the cost of our regular 6 to 10 working day standard shipping service from $9.99 to $12.95 and our free shipping threshold from $100 to $125. We also have some really great news to tell you. We've introduced a brand new shipping service called Express Delivery. This is a fully tracked door-to-door service which takes 3 to 7 working days and costs $19.95. This option means you'll get your crafty goodies in your hands sooner, meaning less waiting and more crafting. We're also upgrading delivery services for our Gold and Platinum Club Inspire members who will now receive priority delivery on all of their orders. And if that wasn't enough, we've upgraded these orders to our new Express 3 to 7 day service. Your patience and understanding throughout this very busy time has been amazing. So we'd just like to say a huge thank you and we look forward to chatting to you again very soon.
Welcome back to Crafters TV. How incredible were Gordon and Justin, right? There are so many questions just swamping for us through just saying how amazing that time was. So thank you to those. Don't forget, be creative to find out more. We have got much more for you now though, when we're heading on over to our Ultimate Pro tool. Now, if you haven't seen this tool before, it is a crafter's bestie. It is a wonderful bit of kit that today we have an extra special surprise. We are bringing it to you with the 16th anniversary USB as well, which means that you're going to buy the Ultimate Pro and get the USB for free. So this is your chance to not only have a fabulous tool, but also to have a whole heap of inspiration. And the lady who's going to tell us even more about it is just there in Crafter's Corner. How you doing, Debbie?
I'm fine, thank you. I've been sat there enthralled watching Gordon and Justin and absolutely loving it, so it's been lovely. But back to business, and we are going to talk about the Ultimate Pro. The Ultimate Pro really is everything that a crafter should have. We've talked about it, the guys talked about it, essential kind of things that you need in your crafty stash. Yeah. And this is one of them. I always call it, they call it the Ultimate Pro, but I call it a crafter's companion because it absolutely is my companion. It sits firmly at my craft desk. Every single time I craft, I use this because, as you know, Becky, I've talked about it a lot. I don't want to go out and buy cards and envelopes and things like that and boxes. I want to make them myself, and this is the tool that I do it with each and every single time. So I'm going to talk about it again because I'm always aware we've got new viewers all the time, and this literally is a fabulous case. Now, I'm going to lay it down so you can see it straight away. It is portable, Becky. It's got that lovely handle. It's very lightweight as well, I'm just going to show you how it all works. So, starting from this side of the board, this is where you can create all your envelopes and your envelope box as well. You've got some nice little embossing details on here too that enable you to do some nice detailed embossing. And if I just turn it round, you'll see the lovely dragonfly, love heart and butterfly on there. You've also got this little feature, which is, you know, for the corner of your envelopes, because obviously this is the envelope side and the envelope box side. When you want to just add a little finishing touch, you've got beautiful little extra embellishments there that you can emboss into your envelope flaps, you know, the back part of it, or maybe on the front as well. It's entirely up to you. Now, again, opening it up, you've got a lovely little clasp like so. When you open this case up, I always recommend that you open it up from this side. And there is a reason why I'm saying that, because when you open it up, now you have to excuse mine, this is my own personal one, so please excuse all the bits and bobs that I've got in there. This is my storage part, if you're probably wondering why, but it's my storage part where I keep extra little boards and things like that and cardstock. But the reason I've said to open it up from this side is because I'll talk about the middle in a bit because I'm going to come back to this section. But right at the very other end is the toolkit. Now, if I was to open it up from that side, the toolkit's going to drop out. And I'm not going to do it, Becky, because I don't want it to. I'm just not going to do it. So always when you're opening it up, when you're using it, opening it from this end. So we talked about the storage space. You've got a lot of place for cardstock and things like that and extra boards. Then I'm going to move on to the middle part of the board. Now, this section of your board is your box maker. And it's your box maker in inches on the bottom part and centimetres on the top. So for me, this is really good because we have various different crafters who work in either inches or centimetres, and we've covered you both ends of those. And down the centre of there is the lovely decorative edge. This is where you can use it on the decorative edges of your boxes, and then you could take your scissors and cut that out, and you've got 4 different designs on there. And when I move it over to this side, you can see straight away you've got a butterfly, lovely like church window, I call that one, like a stained glass window. You've got this lovely oblongy oval, well, I'm saying oblongy oval, but the oblong with the lovely curved corners, and then you've got a star. A what?
Squoval.
A squoval. Do you know I'm going to use that? I quite like that. A square oval. A new word. A square oval. A squoval. Yes, I lovely Becky. You do indeed, Justin. You learn every day. Absolutely. Yeah. And then when you open up your box, your Ultimate Pro, this is where your toolkit lives. And in your toolkit you have, and I'll come back to this in a moment, you have a user guide. You've got, well, mine did, but I've lost mine, so I've only got one now. But there is 2 that you'll get in yours as well, and they sit firmly in there, and that's your scoring tools. You also get, because this box, this Ultimate Pro is a bow maker as well, so you've got your bow making facility, and I'll talk about that in a moment as well. And then you've also got where it lives our little mouse, and I call it the little mouse. It's actually the place where your blade lives for your paper cutting, and you've got a blade inside there. I keep mine out all the time. I don't have kids living with me at home now, so I keep mine out for me to use straight away without having to go back in, but there is a safety feature in there where you can actually house the blade back inside there if you want to do so. And then you've also got, and I'll just move that out, I'll take them all out so you can see them. Now this is where you're going to pop this into the centre of your board, and then now you can't fold it, so it's straight away, it's nice and sturdy. And then of course this is where your paper trimmer is. So you've got your paper trimmer on here, and I think I might have got some spare, I've just seen some spare in there. Yeah, I'll use it there. So this is where you've got, and again you've got your inches and your centimetres either side, so if you're measuring something you can use that as a ruler, and then you can simply pop that in, hold you literally put your cardstock underneath, hold your cardstock into place. Let's go to 5 centimetres for this one, and then you take your tool and you simply just pop that away, and it cuts that in. You know, it's a perfect paper trimmer as well. So you've got all those functions on there, and I'm just going to move those to one side again. Let's put all these back in there, Becky. I like to keep it nice and tidy, but I'm going to show you the rest of the features of this box. I keep calling it a box. It's an Ultimate Pro, Debbie. It is an Ultimate Pro. So that's all the features that you've seen from the envelope side into the centre. And then I'm going to bring this round and talk about this side of the board. And this is the side of the board, I'm not going to lie, Becky, is the one that I use the most. Right. And the reason being is because it's got all of your card bases that's been precisely made to this board so that you can do them with ease. And I've got some cardstock just here to show you what I mean. So on here, you've got And you'll see them, they're like embedded into, they're like being engraved in there. You've got gatefold A5 and concertina A5. You've got gatefold A4 and concertina A4. You've got half fold A4, half fold A5. You've got a square fold, a 5-inch square fold, and you have a half fold A4. Now, whenever you're doing this, and I always start with a bit of white stamping card, but whenever you're doing this, and this will work for you whether you're a right-handed person or a left-hand sided person, depending on what you want to do, you know, depending on what, but all you need to remember, whether you're left or right, a lefty or a righty, I'm going to call it, you just need to remember that when you're popping your cardstock on, it goes up to the handle side, and you take that cardstock and pop it on there, because that's how it's being measured to work. And I'm just going to go straight down. You've got your ball tools that fit inside the in the embossing. And again, when you're doing this, I always tell people it is a nice, you want to break fibres of the card, you don't want to puncture the card, so don't go heavy-handed, you just simply take that and gently go over a couple of times. I'm going to turn that over because I like to fold this into the fold. Return that over and then simply take the flat part of your, so this is the rounded side, take your flat part, and then you're going to burnish, and I just pull that down from top to bottom, and there you've got your perfect half fold A4. And it also gives you what we call, do you know, the leading edge? Now I know people are thinking what you're talking about, but do you know when you open a card, it's very difficult if it's the same size. Do you know if it's the same? You always, no matter what cards you find in shops and things like that, have a tiny fraction, and that is perfectly normal because it enables you to open up your card really easily. And so don't ever be worried about that and thinking, oh my goodness, it's not scored it properly. It most certainly has, because that's what it's been intended to do. And then of course you've got all your other folds on there as well, Becky. So again, let's go in for, we'll go for the gatefold A4. So a gatefold, again, always up to the end of the board. Again, gently break the fibres of your cardstock rather than being heavy-handed. And Becky, I'm guilty of that, so I've been guilty of that. But what I'm going to do is just turn that and rotate it, and then we're going to go back down that same fold again, like so, and a couple of gentle fibres, there we go. And then what we're going to do again is we're just going to bring those folds in. So I'm going to bring that in, I'm turning it around, I'm going on the flat edge, and I'm burnishing, and I'm going to do exactly the same on the other side, and you've got your perfect gatefold card that then you can chop down to any size. And this is, I'm not going to lie, this is the board that I use the most of, and for the simple reason being is that I don't have to go out and buy the cards. Yeah. I can make them myself. I'm going to do one more for you, and we'll go with I'll tell you what we'll go with. We'll go with the A4 again, the gatefold A4. Yeah. I'm also going to go down a half fold as well, so the half fold A4, and I'm going to go back over again, and I'm going to score top to bottom on the gatefold A4. And what I've got now, I'm going to just do this again, burnish, yeah, burnish, and we'll burnish again. And now I've got a nice little bit of a concertina card, but I've also got, if I bring back in the A4 one, a pop-out card, which creates a lovely pop-out card. And again, all the folds done for you. And again, you can cut this down to any size, whether you want it to be a square size, rather than it being the, you know, the true A4 fold. But absolutely, just a fabulous piece. And of course, that could also act as a concertina card as well. So, you know, there's a lot of things that you can do with this. Believe you me, I've tried and I've made quite a lot of projects. I did a craftaganza class a couple of years ago, and I made a ton of different styles of cards that we tried to get through in the 2 hours that we had, but we kind of never got there because we had another project to do as well. But it is a fantastic equipment to have. And I'm just going to go back before we actually finish this little segment, and before I talk about that USB, we'll talk about the actual guide that you get in there. Now, we've got a ton of tutorials on our website that you can go back to. I did a masterclass over 2 hours a couple of weeks back, I think it might be a week or two ago, can't remember now, but I did a masterclass using the Ultimate Pro where we went through lots of different things. But this is a guide, so we've got all those tutorials online that you can go back to at any time on Crafters TV, because it lives there, it stays there. You can go back to it, including onto YouTube as well. But this is like a little insight to what this Ultimate Pro will offer you as a crafter, whether you're a new starter into craft. And can I just tell you, if you're a new starter to craft, you've got to have one of these. And the fact that you've got that USB as a bonus, as an added bonus, because normally you would pay this price that you see on the screen for the board itself, for the Ultimate Pro itself, which I would gladly pay every single time, because I know I've had my money's worth out of mine, just for the fact of that I keep using it over and over and over and over again, for the fact that it's got so many things that it does. The fact that you've got that USB, that's amazing. But I'm going to talk about the user guide, we're going to call it. So it's an introduction into your card making, bow making, box making, envelope making, pop out and create card creator, decorative embossing, which we've talked about, and I forgot to mention there's 3 more embossing folders, embossing styles on there. You've got your paper trimmer, you've got your storage compartment and your accessories, and then it talks about the card making into your basic R folds, your gate folds, which I've just covered. We've got your square cards, and it shows you how to do it, and then use your paper trimmer to create that square card. You've got your trifolds, you've got slimline cards that you can create with this as well. You've got concertina cards, and also giving you a concertina card where you can take the decorative pieces and create a nice little effect on your concertina cards as well. Then it moves on to jump up cards, and I say jump up, it's like a little diamond jump up card and it pops up, but again it shows you how you can do that using your board and this particular side of the board, and also your trimmer. Talks about pop out cards, because pop out cards we've just covered simply just there when I said about this one, that's a pop out card, but it talks about how you can create that and then use the features that are on the inside of the board that you can use. And I'll just turn this over because this is what I love about this board. It's just so handy, so easy to use. But when we talk about that, and I'll go back to that one just a second. Let me turn that back because I just moved it. Oh, Debbie. What do you like? Come here. So your pop-out cards and the K cards, this is where you can use this side of the board. And again, using your embossing, how you can create those. Your bow making, which we did touch on, but this is where you've got your bow making facility as well with your little pegs. And you can make various different sizes of bows as well with this because of the feature that you have. And I'll just turn this round again. The feature that you have with all of these, this is your bow making facility. So you can have a really tiny little bow by simply popping your 2 pegs in, or you can make it bigger, or even bigger, or even bigger, and it is literally the best thing. And then you can make your double bows and things like that as well with your other peg. So that's all that's in there up to now, Becky. That's just a fraction of what we've talked about. It's also your basic box technique, so you can do your boxes, and again that's with the inside of the board here, using this side of the board. Talks about your shape boxes, your triangular boxes and diamond shaped boxes. I mean, this is a lot that this board's offering you. Talks about the magic ruler technique, the aperture centres that you can create, wedge boxes, and your wedge boxes are really, really easy to do and create using your board. And again, your paper trimmer that's in there, you're going to be able to do those and make those with ease, and they really are gorgeous, those. You've got the envelope making, nearly did it again, and some tips. There's hints and tips in this as well, and then the envelope boxes too. And even talking about lining your envelopes, which I just think is really brilliant. And it also has some various ones to get you started with, from a C6 envelope to a DL envelope, to a 6x3 envelope, 7x5 envelope, square envelope, notelet envelopes, mini square envelopes, a lot of different kinds of envelopes on there, just there by simply giving you the measurements, so the cardstock that you need to cut it down to. Don't forget you've got your paper trimmer in here. Also, the positions that you're going to put it into when you are making your basic envelopes or envelope boxes over on, let me turn it the right way around, Debbie, had it the right way around the first time, and your board. So you've got all that as a little guide to get yourself started with. And then lastly, we're talking about the decorative embossing, of your corners, of your lines, of your double embossing, because you can use those features on there to do a couple of embossing, triple embossing if you want to. Talks about using the paper trimmer, talks about your little mouse cutter, we will call it a mouse cutter because that's exactly what it is. Talks about your ball tool and the double-ended ball tools, because there's 2 in there, and they've been ergonomically designed to fit really nice and comfortably in your hand when you're holding them too as well. So there's all that attention to detail. And then, of course, It's just jam-packed full because you've got all of that to get yourself started. Think of all the the tutorials that we have online, but then we're going to talk about that fabulous USB, and it really is absolutely amazing. Now, I've printed out this. You've got Sarah giving you step-by-step instruction throughout, is it 33 projects? 33 projects. Every single one of them, step-by-step tutorial with our lovely Sarah. We had to pin her down to do this before she got really busy. We had to pin her down and get it all shot. And absolutely, she had the time of her life doing it, imparting her knowledge, using the Ultimate Pro and all these fabulous projects. And I'm going to give you a little flick through. I'm not going to show you all of them. I'm going to give you a little flick through. You've got semi-exploding boxes. And again, the tutorials. You've got your picture. It tells you equipment that you need, talks about the finishing dimensions, and then the step-by-step. And there is advanced cards in there. You've got pop-up cards, pop-up book cards in there. You've got advanced shutter cards. That's a gorgeous one. I love that one. But there's tons and tons of different things in there. Using your boxer board, maybe, or your Ultimate Pro. We've got deals on those as well. Your hinged diagonal box. I love these. But there's 33 projects in there, Becky, all step-by-step, advanced ones, so that it takes you on a journey, this one, from your basic ones to your real... I mean, come on. A roll of boxes? You're kidding me. Absolutely amazing. These are absolutely beautiful projects. And honestly, I just think what an amazing deal to have. Not only the Ultimate Pro that gives you all the things that you need to do to get yourself started with crafting and take your advanced, takes you on an advanced journey this, but you've also got the fabulous USB to create all those projects yourself. You just need to decide what cardstock am I going to use. But you've got the step-by-step tutorial, verbal and video instruction from Sarah, as well as the PDF to be able to download that yourself. And it's very easy to find. I did promise somebody that I'd show them because she was having a difficulty. I'll try and post something on my Facebook wall showing you how. You just plug it in, you simply click onto the little tab that tells you about the PDF, and then everything's there ready for you to just download, print and go. So absolutely incredible. It really is, Becky. I wouldn't be without this Ultimate Pro. I mean, honestly, the one thing that I don't like is when people say they bought it and they don't use it. Why are you not using this tool? This is a tool. We talk about machines, talk about glues, about scissors, about tapes and all sorts of things. This is a tool you should be using every single time you craft, because it's an amazing tool and should never be sat gathering dust if you've got one. And if you haven't got one, I promise you, we're going to show you something in a moment to tell you why you absolutely need that tool in your crafty stash.
It is not the only one thinking how fabulous we've got this. Pam E, this is one tool that everyone should have. It's so portable. Diane is saying the USB is fabulous. Brenda is saying, I love my Ultimate Pro. Jenny says, I use this tool to batch make bows so that I can have them ready to complete my project. There's loads of you getting involved. Alicia did ask a question about it. When scoring for a box, which tip would you use? Would you use the larger one or the smaller one?
I always use, so when I'm using mine, I use the one that's got the flat edge and the small ball tool. Right. That's the one that I personally use. The other one you use for your decorative elements, but for this particular one, the one with the flat edge, because there's two in there, you've got this one, and the one that's gone missing is mine, is the double-ended one, which is a different size ball tool to and then a thicker one on there, which is perfect for when you're embossing and things like that. So when you're using your box, use the one that's got the flat edge and the round ball one, and that's the one that I use when I'm doing my box making. So I hope that helps.
Thank you very much, Debbie. If you would like to treat yourself to this, let me remind you, you have got a whole heap of goodies. In fact, let's check out some of the features.
The Ultimate Crafter's Companion is an all-in-one compact carry case which is going to allow you to score, measure, trim, emboss and embellish. The case incorporates 10 vital paper crafting tools all rolled into one lightweight and portable product. If you're crafting at home, this makes a great workstation. Or the carry case design allows you to easily pack up everything you need for crafting on the move. With the Ultimate Crafter's Companion, you can make hundreds of different cards in all shapes and sizes. Working with standard card and paper size, you can fold anything, from basic bifold, trifolds and gatefold cards, right up to pop-out, jump-up cards, or even more complex keepsake books. Simply rest your cardstock against the carefully calculated grid lines, read off the desired size, and use one of the specially designed scoring tools to create an accurate and very professional crease. Every card needs an envelope, and with the Ultimate Crafter's Companion, you can make envelopes in any shape and size to match all your handmade cards. Package your delicate craft projects in colour-coordinated matching envelopes and add a professional finishing touch. No longer will you be restricted to making cards to correspond with ready-made envelope sizes. With hundreds of possible size combinations, your imagination is the limit. And for those really special dimensional cards, you can create 3D box envelopes to not only house, but to protect your handmade card creations. Create your own boxes in any shape and size, from a matchbox right up to a shoebox. All of the calculating and measuring has been taken care of for you, so you can simply follow the guide and create custom-sized boxes which fit together perfectly. Triangular, hexagonal, diamond-shaped boxes are all possible, as well as your regular boxes. You can also create specialised exploding boxes or expanding boxes too. You can even make your own favour boxes for those special occasions. Any craft tool box should include a paper trimmer, and when you're crafting on the go with the Ultimate Paper Crafting Tool, you'll need a paper trimmer at your fingertips. The integrated trimmer stores inside the tool and clips into place for easy access. The ergonomically designed cutting mouse holds a standard size blade, which is very easy to replace. Create delicate embellishment for your paper crafting projects with the integrated bow maker. The simple 6-step process will allow you to create perfect bows in an instant. For paper embellishment, you can use the decorative embossing shapes which are featured throughout the board. Emboss onto special papers, vellums or even acetate to create your own intricate toppers. Everything you need comes included with the tool and stores inside for easy access. Each unit includes a full colour instruction book, cutting mouse and ruler, the bow making pegs, and 2 specially designed scoring and embossing tools. Whether you're crafting on the move or using this as a complete workstation at home, the Ultimate Crafter's Companion provides you with all the tools you need at your fingertips.
And it is your chance to get it today. You buy the Ultimate Pro, you get the USB for £0, 0 pence, 0 cents. Now 0 free. So if you do want it now, it's definitely your chance to do so. Prices are on your screen. And again, it's great if you are starting out, but also a lovely little addition if you've been doing it for a while. The lovely thing with that one too, as it stands, is to make all of the things in the instruction booklet, you don't need a die cutting machine. But if you have a die cutting machine and you love using it, may I suggest to you some Ornate screens. Now, let me give you an idea of what we're talking about with these Ornate screens, because they are absolutely beautiful. These Ornate screens create what look to be mega advanced cards with a couple of passes through your die cutting machine. So let me just explain the gist of this in case you are new. You're getting the outer die here that creates this lovely, and it is 3D, we'll show you in a proper piece later on, but it creates this lovely 3D design. You then get all of these different interlays, which means that you can do floral designs, skinny leaf borders, you can do almost these stencil-like pieces that look a little bit like stained glass windows. You also get different tops to do them as well. And you can make them all the same by dropping them in and out, it's up to you. But then you also have some of your extra dies to give different personality. You get stamps as well. So if you want to create this beautiful hummingbird, the only bird in the world that flies backwards, you're welcome. Then you just have to cut it out, stamp it, colour it in, you're done. So as well as the hummingbird, I've also got for you the Treasured Memories, which is a lovely collection, maybe for christenings, maybe for, for your lost cards, maybe for weddings. And then I've got your butterflies. This is your Butterfly Delight with the florals in there. I really like the idea of this one. Maybe if you wanted to put, if you're good at drawing, illustrating people, or even putting it over over a photo. To me, it looks like a festival headband. As well as that, I've got for you your Happily Ever After. Great for bridal, great for proms, depending on what colour you colour all this in. And you get loads of sentiments in them all, including in this one, save the date and congratulations. I'm bringing to you a sale price today. You're saving nearly £35 or over $40. It is £102.69 or $120.48. These, Debbie, make cards that make you go, wow.
I honestly, when I first heard about what they were doing, I was like, how's that going to work? And then I saw the die set, and then I played with the die set, and I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. I love the design of this. I think it's something really quite fresh. It's something a little bit different. Gives you the real wow factor. That's what I love about these. And there's lots, I mean, if you go through the whole collection, it's amazing because you've got so many different elements that you can keep changing to different occasions every single time. But this is just, the basis of this is that panel die, which I'm going to show you how to put together, and then we'll show you other decorative elements as well. But take a look at these. These are just beautiful. They stand really proudly, but they look absolutely stunning. And actually, they fold quite nice and flat. So this one is that beautiful, I mean, oh my God, I just love that design. But they really fold really quite nice and flat as well. So depending on the on what you're going to pop on inside, will dependent on how thick that this would be. But it's a nice slimline version as well when you pop that, you know, when you've got that laid down flat. So it'll go in one of your nice slimline envelopes. And this one, again, beautiful. Lots of different occasions, lots of different extra embellishments. But do you know what you can do with them, Becky? You can really go to town. And this is a double one, so it's actually stuck together. I'll just show you right in the very centre there. It's just joined together. So now what you've got is a double one. I mean, come on. That is just beautiful. And if you get those folds, and I'll show you what I mean, but if you get the folds right, absolutely, you're going to knock those socks off anybody that you're going to give these to, because they simply are absolutely beautiful, depending on which design you go for, how you want to use them, what embellishments you're going to put to them. But they're absolutely incredible. And I'm going to show you simply by that worker element die first. So we're going to bring this one in, Becky. I'm going to bring in my plates for seconds. Don't be throwing things on the floor now, Debbie, it's too late. But I'm choosing some, I mean, I love the double-sided pearlescent cardstock that we had out quite recently. But I'm just going to show you that this part is the worker element. Now, that part there is what's going to do the frame. And then the rest is going to be all the decorative pieces to it. And you will have decorative panels, and I'll just show you what I mean by that. But you've got the decorative panels that you can add in. I personally do it afterwards. I get this part done, Becky, and then I do all this extra embellishment, and I'll show you what I mean again in a moment. But don't worry, because you do have a little step-by-step in there in how to do it too. So we've covered you on all bases, basically. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hold that down with some low-tack tape. Now, this is going to cut, and it's also going to emboss the embossed detail. It's not going to cut all the way through, but it is really... It's a lot easier than it looks. It really, really is. And that's because of that fabulous worker die. Now, these are, excuse me, thin metal dies, so it's a thin metal die combination. You are going to need a large machine. So this is any A4 size machine, whether it be electronic or a manual. And of course, obviously, the Gemini. You can hear that working because you can hear those lovely crackling sounds. I love that sound. It means the die is cut perfectly. Every single time when I hear it, and never fails to... it used to scare me, Becky. I remember the first time I did it on a machine. Obviously not the Gemini, because I've been crafting a while now, but I remember the first time I heard the crunching and the cracking, I thought I'd broke my plates. And I shan't tell you what I thought when I first saw all this, do you know, the marks on the plate. I went running back to the shop, I'll never forget it. I went running back to the shop, I broke my plates, I broke my machine. And she was like, no, that's what it's meant to look like. And I did feel a little bit foolish, but she forgave me. I was a bit new to die cutting at that point. But now, die cutting, massive passion of mine, absolutely it is. Right, so I'll move that to one side. Now, what you can see quite clearly are the places that it's cut. You see my little finger slip through there? And you can see the score lines as well. So you can see all these score lines are in place as well. Now, I always, personally, start in the middle, and it's my preference. Now, all you need to remember with these is, and to get that fold right, is that when you are doing and I'm going to call this one the valley fold. So I'm going to push, and all I'm going to do is where that fold line is, Becky, I'm just manipulating it into its place. Now, for this point, I'm not going to use my bone folder. Now, I thought I'd fetch my bone folder out. Let me just go and pinch the studio one.
Okay.
Bear with me a minute. At this point, I'm not going to do the burnishing. What I'm just going to do is manipulate the folds into the place. Now, that middle centre line there, I've gone on a valley fold. So the front legs, I'm going to bring into a mountain fold. So I'm just going to push that up. So that's going to stay down, but I'm going to push that one upwards and that one upwards. And that's how you need to remember all of these folds when you're going along. So this one's a valley, that one's going to be a mountain, but instead of these two being mountains, they're going to be valleys. Now, I know that sounds really silly when I say it like that, Becky, but it's the best way I can describe it to you into manipulating your card. So simply make sure that those folds are in place, and then we're going to do this one now. And again, it's just all about manipulating the cardstock, and I'm just going to push that upwards because that's the mountain fold that I want. But these are going to be, and if I hold it there, I'm going to push those in because that's going to be the valley fold on the legs. And again, it's just pushing it into its place to make it nice and easy. And the fold will fold, honestly, I'll show you in a moment, it'll fold really nice because that's how it's done. It's just manipulating the cardstock. And then the last one that you've got, so we've done valley, we've done mountain, so naturally that's going to be a valley as well. So I'm just going to push that into its place again and manipulate that cardstock. Always helps when I've got my long fingernails for this one instead of using me scoring tool. But yeah, it's just about the manipulation and get it into place. And if you remember those rules every time you do this, honestly, it'll work so much easier. And then you're just going to push them into place and manipulate it. And again, I'm going to do exactly the same. This is when I'm going to now, though, take my little bone folder. I would normally use, you know, we've got two different sizes. We've got a small and a big. Yes. This is when I would be using the opposite one, the smaller one. And it just makes it that little bit easier to get into all the nooks and crannies of the small. And that side is now done, Becky, because it's been pushed into its place. And then you're just going to repeat that on the other side as well. So that was a valley. This one's going to be a mountain. So we're going to push that back again. Like I said, all those are in place for you. The two inner parts are going to go in. So they're going to go into the valley shape because we've got the mountain. So we're going to go back in. And again, it's just a case of manipulating. We'll do the burnishing afterwards, but once we've manipulated it into its place, it's really quite straightforward. And that's how straightforward it is. And then you're just going to give it a nice little burnish. And now what you've got is your perfect, and it really is, the perfect screen that will stand really beautifully. And all we're going to do now is decorate it on the inside. So that's all you need to remember. The valleys, the mountains, the valleys, the mountains. And then you're going to add all your decorative pieces. And this one, I decided with this design that I was just going to use it to cut through the cardstock. So I've got, so you can see this lovely see-through panel. When I've demonstrated it before, I've usually used extra cardstock, and I'll take this one off to show you what I mean, because it comes in a variety of sizes, so to create mats and layers. So you've got mats and layers where you can actually stick and create those on. What I did with this one was put those two mats and layers to one side, and I just simply lined it up and ran it through the machine, and it cut through and created this lovely, I wanted a see-through panel for this. You want me getting changed behind this one, Becky? Let me just tell you, you want me getting changed behind this one? Be too much on a show.
Yeah,
but absolutely.
But almost like a garden trellis, like you could grow flowers up it.
Absolutely, and there's a couple of designs in there that will fit in, and you can mix and match them as well. Absolutely stunning, and including you've got bits now that you can add the extras. So when I said to you about adding extra panels and things like that, just by simply using the dies together, you can create these lovely panels too. So it really is quite straightforward. And what I wanted to do with that one was just accent that a little bit more and give it a little bit more drama. And I've done the same with the side panels as well. So that's going to sit on the inside panel too. So I'm just going to bring those in. I'm just going to flatten it out a little bit. I'm going to use my dotty tape pen for this. I'm going to go over that lovely filigree design. I mean, these are just beautiful. I can see these particular dies being used in lots of different ways as well. I really do love this. It's absolutely gorgeous. Really and again, I'm just going to place that over over the top. I could even create a drop shadow if I wanted, if I just manoeuvred it a little bit. But I want to add a little bit of drama to this one. That's why I've chosen black. Black and pink together, I think, look absolutely stunning.
Agreed, yeah, definitely.
Very dramatic.
Mary Pat says, I love this ornate screen panel collection, so many possibilities. And Treasure Heart said, you could use this for little girls' dolls' houses. How cute would that be?
Oh, I like that idea. That's a great idea.
Behind them. You could do like a little dolly shop, couldn't you, where you have all different clothes for them.
Oh, I like it, yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea as well, yeah, absolutely. I'm just thinking of all the different occasions you can use this for, Becky.
True.
It's such a beautiful... And like I said, it's one of those wow factors. Do you imagine if you have your little craft stalls and you sell your cards? Can you imagine having these, a line of these? These would be the first to go, guaranteed. These would be... Yeah. These are... I mean, these are more than just mantelpiece... Wait a minute.
Mantelpiece pleasers.
Thank you, Becky.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I'm going to let you say that one again because I've just... I think it's a bit too late in the day for me. Look at... Oh,
fabulous.
Come on. Look how dramatic that looks just by doing that. And then I've got, of course, all the little extra embellishments that come on there. So I've got this beautiful decorative pieces. And again, I've cut all of these out. I knew that I wouldn't be able to do all this live, so I've had to pre-do this. But it's just a case of using the decorative pieces if you want to use the decorative pieces, can I just say. But they've all been designed to work beautifully together. But again, it's that wow factor. Every single time you make one of these, dependent on your design, you really can go to town, have them really quite decorative. You can keep them muted and not use a lot of it, but you've still got that wow factor of the panel die. And that panel die, for me, the worker part, is the bit that makes them stand out. The rest is just an added bonus, you know, the added bonus to get all the extra features. Just sensational. I fell in love with it the first time I saw it. I've absolutely fall in love with it every time I play with it and I create with it because it's just exquisite. It really, really is. So I'm just going to add on now my little extra embellishments.
Beautiful. Diane's just said you could put the bride behind the panel.
Oh.
Almost like she's sort of peeking through. Oh, hey up. It could be like a thank you for being my bridesmaid card. Because you know how bridesmaids help the bride get dressed, don't they?
Yes, they do, yeah.
So that's a really nice idea, Diane. Yeah, you could do that.
Ah, that's a lovely idea. I do like that idea. And I'm just putting both of those on to create a bit of a layer, a bit of a texture. And I'm going to do exactly the same on the other side as well. So like I said, Becky, this bit is the fun part.
Yeah.
That bit's done all the hard work. This is the fun bit, getting the decoration in. How are you going to decorate it? Oh, honestly, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Just gorgeous.
Just a little reminder, you do get the lilac centura? Yeah, I added a syllable, what of it? You get the lilac centura pearl in this as well, which is 10 sheets and it's 310 GSM, which you can perfectly use for the base, a bit like Debbie used the pink. I know it's not the same, but you could easily use this for that. 310 GSM, strong enough to be the base, isn't it?
Absolutely, it is. Absolutely. Now, I'm just going to add a couple of little butterflies onto here, Becky. I've added a little sentiment. I've gone with an happy, beautiful birthday with this one. You'll have got lots in your, I know you will have, because I know what I'm like. You've got lots in your stash. Now, I do like the see-through element on this one, but I've also got at the back, could use some vellum.
Yeah, vellum.
Just thinking then, I could put some vellum behind the back. That would create, that would look beautiful as well, wouldn't it? Do you know what?
Then that could be still be a changing screen, couldn't it?
Oh, I've only got one piece. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, let's pop some vellum on the back. So I'm just going to use, though, dotty tape pen on the back.
Okay.
Just because it's vellum and I don't want it to be, I don't want the glue to be seeping through, but let's put some vellum on. Let's see what that does. Instead of the see-through.
Lovely.
Oh, yes. Yes, I'm liking this one. Liking this one, Becky. Did like the idea, though, of the bride peeking round the back. I thought that was a really good one. Yes. Good shout, that one. Absolutely.
Yeah, well done, Diane.
And again, I'm just going to pop my vellum on the back of there. Oh, yeah, we'll have it on the side pieces as well.
See, there's loads of fun you can be having with this.
Oh, absolutely. Creative fun. That's the best thing about this. like I said, this has done all the hard work for you, the main part of the die. This bit is just the extra piece of fun. And then when I bring it round, not only does it fold really, really quite flat and lovely. Look at that, that looks beautiful.
Cool.
But when you stand it up, and like I said, once you've manipulated it and popped it into place and remembered that the valley would have a mountain at the top and the bottom, and if the mountain comes out, it will have a valley on the back. If you remember that golden rule every single time, that's how you get that beautiful panel die. That's how it sits, and I'll show you that way again so you can see it, and I'll show you that way again so you can see it. If you just remember the opposite ends to whatever you folded, you are not going to go far wrong with this. It is absolutely beautiful, and I've kept it, I'm going to say fairly simple. I've kept it fairly simple. I've not added any of the others, bride and grooms, the butterflies or anything like that. I've just kept it really simple and just used the decorative elements to this. But again, it's absolutely beautiful. That worker die is sensational. It's going to give you a wow every single time. And I'll tell you something, if I was to give that to one of my family, they'd be like looking at it and saying, have you made that, Debs? I'd be like, absolutely I have.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, how have you made that?
Yeah.
The secret's safe with us. We're not going to tell anybody. Secret's safe with us. But honestly, it's just absolutely beautiful. I know you're going to love it when you get it home. I really do.
Definitely. If you do want to seize the moment, now is your chance. I had an idea when you were crafting then. You know how in these bases you have just some that are just frames, so just the kind of mat and layers. You could easily just cut them out, photographs on each of the panels, so you could have just pictures in here instead of all the ornate detail. So you could do like a photo album design for it. Remember, you get all of these dies, you get the Centura, you get more dies and stamps and sentiments galore, including the butterflies, the bride and groom and more. If you want it today, you have got it for a £102.69 or $120.48. Great time to seize the moment on that one if you so wish. It's time to vote for demo of the show. Remind us what we made, Debbie.
I was just going to say, I'm trying to remember because I've even got some more still down here because there we go. We'll start with the iris fold. I think this is where we started back at the beginning. So this is your iris fold in the up, up and away with that lovely. Did you go and get the stamps? Did anybody go and get them? Those stamps that have got 70% off the mix and match sentiments. So that's number one.
Yeah.
Then number two was the trifold. I'll just bend forward so you can see. I give the lovely trifold aperture card there. Where we had each section just that slightly little bit different with that concertina card. So that's number two. And then number three, we've just finished with the lovely ornate panel. So 1, 2 or 3, you decide.
And you can get voting on our social media sites, of course. So get voting, and then we'll be voting for demo of the day in a little bit. Now, whilst you are here, let me just remind you of our gatefold cards, because if you've not seen them before, they are super duper strong, and they create a look that you could create yourself if you just had normal shaped dies, but it would genuinely take you like double the time and you'd have to use more card. So it's really cool little element this is. You're getting the design that looks really pretty at the front, in this instance the cupcake, but then as you see, it is a magic unfurl that we have here for you. Yeah, the camera's just like, that is just too adorable. I can't look at it anymore. We have got for you here. It's weird how I do voices for inanimate objects, but hey ho. We've got for you cupcake that is cute cupcake. I've got You're a Hoot, which is this little owl design. Then I've got for you a majestic butterfly, and as well as that, we're bringing to you your opulent star. We have got all 27 elements for you today at £63.96 or $95.84. Fancy a demo? I've got the person for you.
Oh, I absolutely love these, Becky. Again, a concept that makes the fold back, excuse me. Excuse me. Oh.
You'll be all right.
It's all right. I'm losing it then. I thought it was going again. The fold back gatefold element, which sometimes can be a bit tricky, but these dies enable you to cut through multiple layers. And the reason being is it's a multimedia die. So this means it's going to cut through not only thicker pieces of cardstock and mount boards, it's also going to cut through fabrics. And again, makes it really easy. And it's not just the worker element die, it's all the extra features as well on there. You've even got a little sheet in here, step-by-step tutorial. Now, I'm not going to try and and pull mine off because I've realised that I have stuck mine down onto the sticky side where the die is held.
Right.
So if I pull that off right now, I'm going to lose it because it's going to disappear. But it gives you the size that you need to create. So 6.5 by 12, then you're going to score at 2, 4, 8 and 10. And that's exactly what I've done with this. Now, I've used A3 cardstock for mine, but all you're going to do is get your measurements, do those score lines, and then pull it in to create the gatefold. Excuse me,
No
Becky.
problem. I'll give
Just
you a little
second.
cough time. Whilst you're coughing, let me say hello to you. Diane is saying, I bet you could do a bride in black as the silhouette behind those. Love that idea. Suzanne said, maybe with the fold out, an LED tea light behind to stand and shine through the vellum. I adore that idea. Thank you for those messages. Can I just remind you, whilst you're here, it's Fiver Friday. So if you head on over to our website, you'll be able to find loads of treats that shouldn't be a fiver, but are a fiver on our website. So go and have a little nosy. Debbie's looking back in one piece. I'm with you.
Absolutely. Sorry about that, Becky.
Don't be silly, it's fine.
Right, so going back to that fold, what we're just going to do is I'm going to show you where you pop it. So I've popped mine onto the plate. Now, this is, like I said, a multimedia die, so it does mean it cuts through thicker material. Hence, when you think about this is a 300 GSM. I want you to think about this, Becky. I'm asking it to cut through 3 pieces. That's a lot. That's like 900. In fact, this is more because this is the Centura Pearl, so this is 930.
Right.
So that's quite a lot to cut through. So you do need a thicker die, which is where this comes in, and hence the different colour, because our multimedia dies have got a different colour to the normal thin metal dies, which is a grey silver. You've got some little kissy lips at the top and the bottom. That enables you to line it up and position it perfectly, because where you want the fold to be, you want to make sure that you're not skew whiff, because that will create a different effect. But you certainly won't get a fold back there, or a gatefold at that. So just make sure that you've got that stuck down, and I'm going to stick mine down both ends, Becky. And then the platform combination for multimedia dies is slightly different. So I'm going to show you that the only thing you need is your plastic shim and your other cutting plate onto the top. You may need to add your metal shim. I think that will depend on the material you're cutting. But I will always say start without. If it cuts, brilliant. If it doesn't, then add the metal shim. You don't need to be adding your magnetic shim to this. So the magnetic shim would stay off there. But what you get now is the perfect cut, and I knew it would do because it is a multimedia die, where it's cut through the entirety of, let me just tell you again, 930 GSM. Yes, that's right. 930 GSM. The only thing I'm having difficulty with is my low-tack tape, dearie me. So let me just pop that there, and I'm going to show you now, when you open it up, you have got, ta-da, the perfect fold-back gatefold card. So it opens up, it folds back, it folds in, opens up, folds in, opens up. I love them. I just think they're absolutely gorgeous. I love them. Do apologise, producer Johnny. Now, I'm going to use some other things because I want to decorate my lovely owl. And I'm going to use some material. Now, this has been stabilised. I've used some stabiliser on the back of this. You can use spray. This is spray that you can stabilise your cotton with, because it is a cotton, but I wanted to toughen it to cut through there. So I've literally run that through, and again, we'll pop that on. I'm going to try it without the metal shim. Normally I would put the metal shim in again, but I'm just going to try it first without. If it doesn't, I'm not going to worry, I can add the metal shim afterwards. But again, this is a thick metal die that's cutting through material.
Perfect.
And the stabiliser enables it to stay a little bit stiffer, and it stops the fraying. So it's always important, if you're using a material like cotton, something like that, that you have a stabiliser.
That's perfect. Just to interrupt you for a second,
No
we've
problem.
had the winner through. Make of the show is numero dos, Debbie.
What's that one?
2, which was the owl, wasn't it? The owly one.
Say, do you know, you're still loving these trifolds, aren't you?
Yeah.
You really are still loving them. I'll put that there. Oh, Becky, do you want it?
Yeah, sure.
Do you want to do
you know what? I'll just come to you, Debbie.
Right, okay.
I'll come to you, Debbie. Hiya. Okay, let me go back. Oh, that's my exercise for the week. Right. So, just to let you know, you can vote now for Demo of the Day. This is number 1 that was from Craig earlier on. So this was in our wake-up call. So this is number 1 in our demo of the day. We didn't do a vote in Becky's show when she made the teddy bears, and she didn't leave one. Yes, we're doing 1 or 2 today, which is this one that has been done by Debbie. So vote whilst you can, number 1 or number 2. Get those votes in on socials. I'm back with you, Debbie.
Wow, just looking at that first one. Wow, Craig. Wow. Is that Craig's?
Yeah.
Oh, what amazing. Right, so I'm going to talk about now the owl. Now, I could stick this on the front, but guess what's going to happen, Becky?
Go on.
Ain't going to open up.
Yeah, of course.
So cut it down. So what I'm going to do actually is I am going to attach it to a panel, because I could have it like this and then open it up. Like so.
Oh, yeah.
I just want to stiffen it up a little bit more, so I'm going to pop that back onto, and I would probably use a fabric glue for this, but I haven't got any, and I saw Becky earlier, but I forgot to ask her, which was a bit daft on my part. There's no fabric glue. I could do with a fabric glue, actually. Let me think. I'm just thinking I can stable that, because you do need to attach it to the cardstock. Tell you what, I'm not going to worry, because I tell you what I'm going to do. I am going to do it this way. There's always a way around these solutions. There's always a what's the word?
Well, there's a will, there's a way.
Oh, absolutely.
There's always a solution to a problem.
There is always a solution to a problem. But if you are going to use fabric on this, then that's what I would suggest. Tape's not, the tape pen's probably not going to hold the fabric down a little bit. But what I'm just going to do is pop it onto there, and then I'm going to snip it into half. That's what I'm going to do. Becky, tell you, there's always a way. There is always a way.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to split that in half, and then I'm going to attach it to either end, like so. Cute, looking super cute. Now I can use my glues, Becky, and my tape pens, because I've got my cardstock there. Told you. Solution for everything. We always think. You have to think on your feet, especially when you're on live TV. You've got to think on your feet. But I'm just going to go in, and I'm just going to match that up. And I'm going to do exactly the same on the other side. These are, honestly, the cutest dies. I love, love, love these. And there you go, you've got that lovely panel there. Nice. I've used some gorgeous leather with this. Again, I thought, I love sniffing leather. I have a terrible addiction to sniffing leather. But again, you just got to... In fact, I'll tell you what I'm going to do, because I've just seen the time, Becky. I'm ever so sorry. I didn't mean it to go on this long. But I'm just used felt for his eyes. I'm going to slip those just like so. Okay. I've used another bit of leather just to go onto his eyeballs.
Great.
I've actually used some black fabric to cut his... now then.
Pupils.
Oh, gosh. Oh, hang on a minute, it looks like he's looking downwards that way. And I've actually brought in a couple of my googly eyes. I found my googly eyes the other day. And I love love googly eyes. Just going to leave that. Oh, hang on a minute. He looks a bit like he's looking inwards. There we go, that's better.
Love it.
And then you're going to add things like little feeties. Yeah. There's little feeties, and put them on the bottom like so. Oops, gorgeous. Wrong way around, Debbie. Wrong way around, so we've got to pop them that way. And then lastly, well, if I remember where I put his little beak, I'm going to show you my finished one that I have stuck down, but you're going to pop that on. And then, he's so cute. Did you put me googly eyes? What's happened to his googly eyes?
Lovely. Isn't that great?
I could do this all day long, Becky. Let me just show you again. Let's go in close where he's all stuck down, apart from his googly eyes have fallen off. I love it. Absolutely gorgeous. They're beautiful. They're fun, they're quirky, something a bit different, multimedia dies. Tons of things you can do with them, tons of materials you can cut with them, especially with your Gemini, so absolutely love them.
It's brilliant. Pammy has said these would be cute, cut out in felt, and then let the kids have multiples so that they can make little felt owls with different looks. That's a great idea. And actually, on Softer Side today, we've had a massive felt pack, and we had faux leathers as well, so well worth having a nosy at. We have had the winner of the day, and the winner is number 1 from Craig.
I knew it. That's
Snaps
a beauty. Absolute beauty.
So I will add that to the wall for our demo of the week. Thank you everyone for voting in on that. I'll pop that up in a minute. Thank you very much, Debbie. When are you next in with us?
Tuesday night launch party. I ain't done one for ages. Right excited. Tuesday night launch party, and then Wednesday with an exciting guest, but I'm not saying no more.
Oh, zup.
I know. She's a good friend of mine, is all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say.
Right.
A real dear friend of mine that I'm really excited. So next week's going to be a corker. It's the weekend to come up. And Michelle's back.
We've got it all going on, haven't
Absolutely.
we? Thank you very much, Debbie. Thank you for joining us today. As always, we appreciate your company. If you have loved watching the lovely gents from Be Creative and Craigle and lovely Debbie and Joe and everyone else today, don't forget, go on and like and subscribe to our channels, because that way you'll get really cool pings of when exciting things happen. And if you buy anything, you can watch back on it. As always, it's been an absolute pleasure to be with you today. Thank you as always. I hope whatever you're doing with your evening or day, you have a fabulous one. I'm back with you next week. From me, for now, I'll see you soon.